Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All right, this ain't gonna be long, man. Uh, this is my birthday month. I'm a Gemini, and the evil twin wants to play. Okay, so I knew it was gonna be a response to the video I did yesterday on this channel when May came up, and as to be expected, the gynocratic simps came to the rescue. So in the blue suede shoes, in the in the white coats and the blue cape, okay, they came out for me, which is cool. Okay, and talking about SB, shame, blame, and explain, which is something your particular ass does on a regular basis with your low IQ self. Your low IQ pedestrian got the goddamn IQ points of a nematode. Okay, a tardigrade. Okay, probably a one-celled animal. You're gonna talk about you were up to SBE in May. May brought her little tail up here. Okay, got on my panel and didn't have enough information actually to debate the point. Okay, because I didn't do much to May. I just asked her questions, okay? And May couldn't handle it. Just like you can't handle it, you coward. If you want to get me directly. I got an email. I sent you my email. Get at me directly, but you don't. So you're doing that passive aggressive stuff like you're a freaking female. Oh, you're SBN May. Like May can't handle herself. May jumped her ass up on my panel. May jumped on my panel talking shit, but you ain't say nothing about May talking shit, did you? May come up there with her sign language because I know SBE is supposed to be the antidote to sign language. Shame, blame, and explain. Even though I had the brother up there that came up with it up on my panel for 2.5 hours, he couldn't explain what it was. Y'all just throw out names, throw out words without meaning to it. And you talk about me fussing and cackling at somebody, and what I took May through was nothing compared to what you took AB through on his panel. All the cackling and stuff going on. All that bullshit. Okay? That's why I said SB is bullshit. Uh, Hurricane Greg, you have no idea. But so I don't know why you try to defend her. I don't know how you try to defend her. But the thing is, sometimes I think Big J Triple X got a thing for me too, because he always got my name in his mouth. So I'm wondering about his persuasion myself. So just got done with the game. Yeah, I saw the game, man. Um, after the game when she came back, now I know why the refs let um, they play Caitlyn Clark so physically. Okay, because she'll blow them up, and Caitlyn Clark would score 40, 50 points a game if they didn't, if they were allowed her to play her like the rest of the players player. Okay, in other words, if the refs called the game the same way for Caitlyn like they do for the rest of the players, Caitlyn Clark would average 40 points a game, and they know it. That's the problem. Because I saw the difference between the Liberty game and this one. Okay, I mean, there's no way you can be able to reach that much. There's no way you can put hands on people that much and reach across somebody's body that much. Okay, without getting a foul call. And they only started cleaning it up after that crap that went on because Mayberry should have been kicked. I thought she was kicked because anytime you come into a fight and knock somebody down, that's the fight. She should have been kicked, and they didn't kick her. But they're gonna hear about it. They're gonna hear about it for the next really the next month. And then at the end of the game, you kick those other two players for fighting. But the thing is, that's after the fact. They had to kick them. The thing is, um, it's Jordan rules, okay, where you can play them a little bit more physically. They did that same thing with Steph Curry, but there's only so much you can actually do. And the things they let them get away with way too much, and that's why I come have fights. They let that girl get away with way too much. She poked her in the eye, and she walked up and bumped her after she poked her. Both of them should have been kicked. They should have been kicked, and the refs let it get out of hand. And that's what it leads to. So basically, that's how come we always have these tussles, okay? Because you don't lay down the law. But they keep men in check. They keep men in check is because they'll be fighting in the stands. So but they think that women can be physical like that and it won't get out of hand. Yeah, he got the IQ of stuttering. He's a stuttering farm boy. I think that's what he does. Um, I think the one with the New York Liberty. I think you could see they were mostly guys. I think those were NBA refs. I don't think they were WNBA refs. I think those were NBA refs because the way they called the game. I said these are not your normal WNBA refs. So I think the game that was on Sunday, I think it was Saturday. Okay, those were NBA refs. I could tell by the way they called the game. What's up, Pharaoh? I'm an indie. Me and my mother like Caitlyn. Yeah, if you're an indie, you have to love Caitlyn. But as far as SBE and that kind of crap, man, all this manosphere and black manosphere hate doesn't do any good. Okay, I was just listening to Richard Reeves talking about men and men not liking the Democratic Party, right? Richard Reeves, okay, Brookings Institute, talking to men about how men feel. Okay, just him being there talking to men, okay, in a prominent way, prominent people talking to men and see their point of view, okay, that's a win, okay? The manosphere and the black manosphere has done its job. That's all we really wanted from the very beginning. So all that other hoo-ha about the manosphere and the black manosphere is not going to do any good. It's too late. So I don't even know what they're fussing about, okay? All that stuff is too late. They need to go on to something else. Because all they do, after this, all they're going to do is spread it. You know how many people that the manosphere and the black manosphere gain because the FD Signifier running off his mouth about the black manosphere? Okay? You know how many subs we gain? That's how we don't like talking about us that much because we gain too many subs. And you actually spread the knowledge. So I have no idea what the manosphere and black manosphere hate is, okay? Either you're going to come in and you're going to prove us wrong, not with that rhetoric, well, y'all hate women. Don't come up with that bullshit. That's bullshit, okay? You hate women. That don't mean nothing. Come with facts and figures, because that's what we come with. We come with facts, stats, figures, and receipts. Y'all come with talking points. That's how come you're in the bottom barrel of the YouTube algorithm. So anytime I see SBE, I know where they stand, right? You want one of them bottom feeders again. Yeah, you got nothing else to talk about. Every video is the black manosphere. Like you ain't got nothing else to talk about. You talk about what we should talk about. Oh, self-improvement and all that kind of other stuff, right? What do you talk about? All you do is complain about us. What we might have said, how you felt about us, or what somebody said about you. SBE. So we trying to get Snowman off the skid, man. Snowman, top of the morning, you should do a think piece about the kind of number one, compare this game with the Liberty game, okay? Compared how they allowed Connecticut to play with those 3 female referees compared to the Liberty game with the mostly, I think it was 2 or 3 male referees, okay? Compare the games and compare how she performed, okay? They couldn't do anything with her is because they couldn't hold her. They couldn't grab her, they couldn't beat up on her, they couldn't push her, okay? They were way more physical in this game. They're way more physical. Up until the Mayberry thing when Homegirl came out of the wings, she should have been kicked immediately. should have been kicked immediately, even though I knew they were going to lose the game. $10.70 the fan. Okay, I don't know what that is. I guess you guys are talking to each other. Anyhow, since we're here waiting on these knuckleheads, y'all got anything to say before I bounce? Because the thing is, Lord knows, man, about the manosphere and the black manosphere, right? Okay. The thing is that, even during the little cut, the little special that he did, right? Okay, they mentioned the manosphere, right? The manosphere is in politics, okay? The manosphere is basically is part of the White House discussion right now with Donald Trump, and that's why they don't like him in there, okay? Because the manosphere is being represented. That's how come he pushed out migrants and he cleaned out DEI, okay? So men can actually go back to work because you actually mean to actually compete amongst the rest of the world. Okay, you can't do it without it. Now, there's other crap that he's doing, like his foreign policy. I'm not liking too well. Even though I understand why he does it, I don't like what he does. I understand why he do it. What's going on right now? They've been trying to do that for the last 20 years. It just needed a reason. But Trump said, "Fuck it, we don't need a reason. We're just gonna do it." Okay. Now it's on like Donkey Kong. Now we have to see where it goes. Okay. Just like the with the tariffs, right? I told everybody he's trying to get people back to the table, trying to get everybody back to the table to talk about how crazy Donald Trump is. He's doing this, he's doing that with the tariffs. He's gonna ruin the economy. Okay, him investing got the Chinese back to the table and signed an agreement, right? And then right after that, what did Congress come out and do with Lindsey Graham? Okay, oh, we're gonna put 500% tariffs on anybody doing business with Russia. Okay, right after that. So that means you folks, including you Democrats, agree with what Trump was doing in the first place. You just wanted him to take the blame for you. That's all. I knew what Trump was doing. You can almost call his plays blindly. Okay, just about everything he does, you can almost call it. You can almost call it. Like when thing went down with Iran, I wasn't surprised. Okay, he's the one that got rid of the JCOP in the first place. So when this stuff did a reversal, I wasn't surprised. I thought he knew better because I could tell you Hexas wasn't for this particular action. But evidently Donald Trump overruled him. It is what it is. It happens. Say looking for Theo's link on Facebook. Theo has to give it to you, man. Okay. If Theo, I tell you what, Theo will be there on Maker Mondays. You don't have to give me no money. On Monday, Theo will be on. You can ask him then. Ninja Person, Theo will be there in person. Also, our Passport OG, all these people that are in this group, okay, they can actually give you information. Don't have to keep asking me. Okay? If Theo wants to put it down, I'm not going to put it down unless Theo asks, okay? But Theo will be on my BGS Ibmore channel on Monday for Maker Monday, okay? And you can talk to him then. I don't know why you wait so late to get in his class, because I've been advertising his class for the past 2 years. Oh, I can let her up on the panel. It's okay. That's what this channel is for. That's what this channel is for. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. That's why come I don't do it on my main channel because people don't want to hear it. Okay, that always complain. That always complain about me talking to these folks. Okay, I said I created this channel for this discourse. After this, I probably would do more politics because I'm seeing a lot of more politic discourse that probably would be better served over here. In fact, there's a couple I got to do. So, but that's what it's here for. But they're not in the chat that I can see. But they probably listen, but they're not in the chat. But hell, if they want to come, but I'll throw a link down if they want to come up. If not, I'm gone. Okay, because I just want to get my thoughts out about this bullshit about SBE and you going in on. I didn't do nothing to May that I actually don't do to men. Okay, if you come up here and you got a whole bunch of noise and stuff like that, I'm gonna question you in the exact same way. In fact, I was fairly gentle with May. The thing is, she couldn't back up her bullshit. That's all, and she knew it. What's up, James? At 2025, because I used to let it go, okay, because you're trying to keep from tipping over what you're trying to build. Like the Jenga blocks, okay, because you don't have a solid base. But now, the base is solid, okay. The base is so broad and worldwide, you can't shake it. So I don't care. You could take me down tomorrow. I don't care. It's because the job that we set up to do is already done. Okay, and all Trump did with the DEI and them chicks losing jobs. Okay, he just solidified it. Just solidified it. DEI is some of it gonna come back to bite us? Yes, but thing is, it's got a net. It's a gain for us. Net is a gain for us. And the white boys are saying the same thing. Net is the game for us. Is there going to be some disruptions? Yeah. Are we going to have to reskill in some things? Jobs we may not like? Sure. But the jobs that we have, the jobs that we're doing, the women don't want to do, including IT and other kind of stuff. Okay, women don't want to do that stuff. They want to sip tea, go to lunch, and do a little bit of paperwork while they talk on the phone. Okay, that's mostly what they do. And then complain to HR or try to get a man or somebody else to do their work for them. Because I hear that all the time, man, especially with white women, right? They always try to get somebody else to do their work for them. They always are. Saying, Big J, I know you listening. I know you listening. I know your little pixies are out, and they blew up your spot saying that I was gonna be on. So I know you listening. Anyhow, questions if you guys got any before I bounce, because our new style is gonna be on in about an hour or so, and I'm not gonna hold them up over this BS. But you know, they always if they got something to say, I'm here. They got something to say, I'm here. I'm not gonna let you bleed all over my floor. You know. So if you got a tampon on and you bleed, you better plug that bad boy up. Don't bleed all over my floor like you do on your channel. No questions? Okay. All right. They're not coming up, and there ain't no question. But tomorrow, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing the stuff on um, global white supremacy and Las Castas, the caste system, because the caste system is all over the planet. Homeboy did say he's actually Nigerian. He actually did say this stuff is global, and some of these groups vying for position are trying to find their spot on the ladder on the white ladder, with white people at the top and working their way down, and they're trying to push us down to the bottom. They're trying to keep the black jelly beans at the bottom of the jar. I didn't see your question. I do them sometimes. I don't do them as much anymore. But you have to email me, and we can talk about it. Because most of the time, the stuff that we do that people want to know about, normally that's done on my Patreon. Normally, like at least 2 or 3 times a week, I give 5 hours to my Patreon. That's not on a big public discourse. Where can I catch you on on panels of opposite opinions? Okay. Um, I don't go on many panels of opposite opinions very much. Is because I have people that follow me and they want to get personal and all those kind of stuff. So I don't do it very much. I've tried it, and then when I show up, then the people that really don't like me, okay, then they want to bring up all kind of crap that has nothing to do with the an opposite opinion. Most people don't want to debate me. They really don't, or basically express a different opinion because they don't have anything to back it up. Not much. I have several former Eastern European Mediterranean ladies listen to you. OKS videos and a few other Snow Bunny Mediterranean coming from black. Yeah, because when it comes down to finance and stuff like, a man is a man, and if the man can't, if the man doesn't have the attributes that actually give to that woman, she's gonna pick another man. Just same thing with with black men um, picking women. Okay, you gotta have the attributes. Gotta have the attributes. That, like I said, but opposing panels, I tried it. Okay, but the people that don't like me follow me to those channels, and then then they just blow the whole thing up because it gets into a pissing match about nothing. So I don't do it very often. Any more questions? We'll go to about 5, 6 more minutes, and then we're out. But what's going on, Dr. Goodbar? Um, most of what I want to say, since I'm up here, and you got a riff. Um, a lot of basically a lot of things about the manosphere, the black manosphere especially, was actually um, completed through Kevin. Okay, um, the stuff that came after that, which is um, passport passport bros, which became a phenomenon. Okay, they're just bringing back receipts of stuff I already knew. Okay, and something I was telling uh, my folks in real life. Okay, here. Okay, uh, black men are the most kind, egalitarian, fair group of men on the planet, and women from other groups are saying the exact same thing that we said, we included on the continent, right? Okay, they said the exact same thing. And when black women come over there, they all say the same thing. I say, why, how do you put up with all these mean ass women? They say your women are mean. Okay, they're brutal. I mean, May being up here last night. Okay, no decorum, no, no logic, not even any niceness. You weren't acting like a lady at all. Okay, you talk to me. You could be my daughter. You try to talk to me like I'm your son. I'm not your son. I'm not your husband. I'm not your boyfriend. Okay, you got to put you on the panel. Talk with some respect. Can't come here talking over people. It's not your panel. You can't come over here thinking that you're gonna get the floor and you can say whatever you want. It's not gonna happen. Can't come over here and think especially on my channel, that you're not gonna get challenged on your logic. It's not gonna happen. Oh yeah, well yeah, because I was checking her. Okay, no, she'd have got loose if I hadn't checked her. She'd have got loose. I know her too well. She'd have got loose if I let her get loose. If I get relaxed and where she can think she can say anything she wants, she couldn't. I reminded her that she's supposed to have men. She's a southerner. Okay, And Southerners have manners, even though they don't use them. They know how to use manners if they want to. Do you think black men as a whole are putting up the wall of silence because it's a lot of complaining about not being approached? Okay, it's a general thing, and especially after COVID, because it was the Me Too shit before that. It was, um, "Are you okay, sis? Don't approach me." How you talk, like the Dante Kyle thing. See, all that crap was 2015 to 2020. Okay, after COVID, okay, when guys figured out that they didn't have to put up with this stuff and they could actually be content without a woman, all that was over with. They said, okay, well, if we get we get the stank face, man, we just gonna turn around and walk the other way. We don't need you. And black women, and black women especially, thought that black men, especially black women, would never get to the point where they say we don't need you. They're not used to that. They're used to us chasing what's between their legs. And when men, especially black men, found out that they could live and they could be content without what's going on between a woman's legs, they were good. Why pay all this money, go through all this headache, listen to all this crap that you have to listen? Because trust and believe, you got a woman, you have to listen to all that crap. In fact, we were talking about earlier today. We were actually talking about male and emotional labor. In fact, if Dr. T don't write that book, I'm gonna write that book. Dr. T, if you listen to me, if you don't write male emotional labor, I'll write it. The juice has never been worth the squeeze. Okay, I've been telling guys that for years, right? Okay, um, vagina is a commodity, okay? And the thing is, and I've said there's 4 billion women on the planet, right? Until passport bros, nobody ever thought about it, right? Until passport bros got on planes, went someplace else to say you can get prettier, better quality, more cooperation, and cheaper someplace else. So now I think it was Compassion and Calluses saying that you have people in construction, okay, young guys in construction, they'll work 6 months, that work 12 hours, 12, 13, 14 hours a day for 6 months, build up $40,000, $50,000, and they bounce to Colombia, or they'll bounce to Brazil, or they'll bounce to the DR, or they'll bounce to Africa for 6 months, man, and live a really good high life, man, on a fifth of the cost, right? I said you can have a really good time in Asia, a really good time in Africa, have a really good time in Colombia or Brazil for $1,000 a month, man. So if you clock out, if you clock 50 and after taxes you bounce for 6 months, you live the whole 6 months and have a really good time, man. With high quality cooperative women, someplace else in a tropical or exotic location, man, for 6 months, man, and without having to work, without having the high cost of living here. If you grind, put your nose to the wheelstone for 6 months, and you grind and you keep your costs down, you can bounce, okay? You could be gone a year if you want to. I know guys that did HVAC, man. He would do HVAC for 6 months and he'd be gone a year down in Colombia. Wouldn't come back. There's ways of doing things, okay? What's up, T? Dr. T? I didn't think you'd be lurking over here in the dungeon, man, in the dregs. Yeah, I saw the paper. What I'm saying is, if you don't write the book, I will, because we just talked about male emotional labor. And the thing is, that's not discussed. And women still don't think there's such a thing as male emotional labor until we actually start discussing it. And said, oh yeah, we do that. Y'all do that, don't you? Like I said, okay, if women give affection to men, what do women get? They tell you you're listening to her for 30 minutes, and first thing they say, you know what they say, right? Oh, we communicate, we're logical. I said and the first thing they say, all my friends communicate well. Okay, I said all your friends are women. Okay, you think you communicate well, but to men it sounds disconnected. It sounds like garbage when we hear it. What point are you making? Why is this important? What's up, Dr. Thunder? What are you guys doing over here, man? What you guys doing over here in the dregs? Y'all ain't supposed to be over here. I come over here because y'all don't like me talking about these Negroes, okay? These cockroaches, as I call them, okay? So I take it off my main channel, put it over here because y'all don't want to hear it, and you guys come over here anyway. So you can't win, okay? No, the thing is, okay, Dr. Thunder's in here. Okay, he's traditional, okay? Vagina is a commodity, okay? Her womb is what's special, okay? Her womb producing a child or a couple of kids for you, that's what's special. That's where the cost comes in. The cost does not come in with you having sex with her, okay? Sex is not worth that much. Sex ain't worth that much. Her womb is what's worth it. Unless you an elite and you need her to keep her mouth shut. The high class call girls are there to have sex with that guy and keep her mouth shut. I remember this one hooker. She said she gets this one guy pays her $2,000 for a blowjob, right? Okay, $100 for the blowjob. The other $1,900 for you to keep your mouth shut and not say nothing. That's what it's there for. But the thing is, they're starting to violate that. So that's probably going to be a thing of the past because you can't even pay them to keep their mouth shut no more. That's the evil twin. So I'm punching back. Hey Doc, I'm punching down right now. My ex finally accepted that I value my peace over her punani and her emotional and the emotional labor required to be in a relationship. Value your light and attention. Be just no true words were ever spoken. Yeah, you can bring your little hot tail up if you want to, man. I don't care. But the thing is, the pro-blacks say the exact same thing, man. They get mad, and guess what? First thing they say, "Well, let me speak. Don't cut me off." Blah blah blah. I get 5 words out. They want to cut me. I had to go in on them. Okay, hey, wait a minute. Now you both told me to let you finish. Okay, and y'all spoke for 3, 4, 5 minutes, but I have to say one sentence. You want to cut me off? They had to listen. They had to listen. You're not getting any sex. I said it's because men don't approach. Men don't think it's worth it to approach anyone. So sex will go down. And women aren't approaching like that. Well, you don't. I said, what circles you? First thing they say, and it's one thing I hate. Okay. First thing they say, I don't know what circles you in. When you hear it, okay, I'm in all these circles. Okay, I span all classes. I've seen it with everybody, from rich people all the way down, are all complaining about the same thing because it is the same thing. It doesn't matter. And saying that you don't see it in your circle is a lie. It's a lie. I know it's a lie because I've been in circles like that. It's a lie. Now, it might not directly affect you, but seeing as you see it because somebody in your group is doing that crap, okay? But it's an outlier to you. No, it's not an outlier. Saying that you don't see it is a lie. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, all them folks, they all do the same thing, okay? Michelle Obama stink face, okay? They all do the same crap. Ain't no difference. My PhDs tell me ain't no difference. When I was saying that a lot of PhD women marry prisoners, okay? Black PhD women marry prisoners because they want control, and nobody else can put up with them. What's up, Mr. Z? I got some stuff coming for FD Signifier though. Okay, um, I got some stuff coming for him. I just haven't put it together. I got some stuff coming for him. It's going to be 5 lessons for FD Signifier. Okay, and first one is about culture because he doesn't understand how he does not understand how we do what we do. Most people in this space or outside of space do not understand how we do what we do. When you drop the no scrubs, I don't know. I haven't. I don't think I ever talked about that.
Evening, BGS.
What's up?
It's evil twin season, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. June. He said I want to play. I want to play.
Yeah, you a June Gemini, right?
Yes.
Oh boy,
Mm,
they picked the wrong time.
yeah. F- FD does not want to ruin. Okay, at a certain point, you don't want to get embarrassed in public because you're making money. He don't want to come over here. Okay,
Yeah,
but the thing is, I'm gonna put it up 5 lessons for FD Signifier because you're trying to figure out how we do what we do. You see,
BGS.
now go ahead.
Sorry, let me put it in basketball terms. You know how like Lance was talking a bunch of trash, right? You remember you saw the one on one the next chapter between Lance and Beasley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like Lance is talking like blah 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 blah. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's like, I'm gonna do this too, and he was like kind of sat back and kind of like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, and you kind of Mike Beasley him, and he didn't want to. At a certain point, it's like, you know what? Anybody else who wants to say anything, like once you not clap back, but once you put the information out, you say use your talking points. You say what you got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody want to play you one on one. You know, you get to a certain point in your career where it's like, oh, he done
Yeah.
came out now. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. It used to me being uh, 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 generous and kind and not going off because you guys get on me if I do that stuff. So, um,
I
oh, you didn't have to.
mean,
You don't have to beat up on him. You didn't have to say it to him like that. You didn't have to embarrass him. So, I mean, that
that's
is
them.
you. Yeah,
They
that's them. I know it
say
says
that.
them. Well, that's them. But the thing is, that's why I put it over here. Okay,
Yeah,
I let you know. You come over here, you can hear anything. Okay. If you don't
fact.
like me saying it and going off on these people, don't come over here. Why you talk to why you wasting your time with Big J Triple X because I want to. That's why it's over here.
You're an American citizen. You can use
I
your time how you
want
please.
to. I can clap back. Okay. I can punch down over here because you're punching down on somebody without IQ points. Yes, because he won't shut the fuck up. Okay.
In the words of Bobby Brown, it's your prerogative.
Yes it is. I can do what I want to do. I made this money. Well,
I'm gonna spend it how I feel
I
like.
feel like it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
May, if you want to come up, I know you ain't read it, so that's probably why you ain't coming up. But guess what? Somebody, one of my subs, looked up DNC, right? Okay, he actually looked it up because I looked. You can actually put it in. You put it DNC and you put in abortion, it'll come right up. Okay, all the stuff that you talk about, what they do now, okay, didn't exist, 30, 40 years ago. And abortion was a DNC. So all the processes you do. There's two ways. Either when they get past a certain point, they have to induce birth as an abortion, which is saline, okay, or induce the birth after a certain point, or you got a DNC. You got your pussy scraped. And
Yeah,
in fact, the women used to talk about that, okay. If they didn't want to say abortion, they said I had to go get my pussy scraped. That means they
goodness.
got an abortion. Yeah. That's why I know. I used to hear them talk about it. I seen the paperwork, okay, because I had to drive a couple of friends uh, and pick them up, right? And they showed me the paperwork. It says DNC. I know what it says. I know what it is.
What does DNC stand for?
It's called dilation and cutlage. In other words, they
Uh-huh.
dilate the vagina,
Yeah.
they dilate the womb, and they go in and they scrape out the lining. Okay,
The uterine liner.
the yeah, the
Yeah.
uterine lining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crude language. That's why you're over here. Okay,
I
it's
mean, it
very
is.
crude.
That's the
And
science.
now, what did I hear you saying on your channel, May? That all that language you were using was not ladylike. Let me go ahead and pull it up, okay? Because this is for the people in the back of the bus, back of the short bus at that, okay? DNC abortion, okay? One thing I like about AI, okay? um, is um, one thing I like about AI is it'll give you a short version. Sometimes it's not very good because it's not complete enough. Uh, but for a very short portion, okay. See if
Quick
I
and
can
dirty.
find quick and dirty. I know you like cussing, talking about crude language, okay? The thing is, man, I don't know where you grew up, man. I grew up 6 blocks from Freeway Ricky Ross, okay? That's where I grew up, okay? We cuss. They cuss. We shoot, okay? A lot of my friends got bodies on them, okay?
Shoot dice and niggas.
I mean, but basically, where I grew up is like a 3/4 of a mile from Figueroa, okay?
Oh snap.
Which is a track, okay? So don't tell me about this crap. Basically, the middle school, I was bused. The only reason I didn't go to school with Free Ricky is because I actually bused to a upscale white neighborhood, like 15 miles away. Okay, dilation and curettage, right? Procedure can be used for both diagnosing and treating certain uterine conditions and for abortion. In the context of abortion, D&C involves dilating the cervix, removing the contents of the uterus, either to terminate a pregnancy or remove tissue after miscarriage. Okay? It's important to understand that D&C is a surgical procedure with potential risks and benefits. The decision to undergo one should be made in consultation with the healthcare provider. The reason they cut it out is because there's less risk to do it another way. Okay? Pills give you less risk, okay? But this is the original abortion, okay? DNC. Anything below 13 weeks, okay? It doesn't. I'm not having them. I didn't. May. I mean, May. I'm trying to give you some respect, May. That you have more IQ points than I take you for, okay? The one or two things are uh, your IQ's not where I think it should be, or you're crazy as a bed bug. Which one is it? I'm not having an abortion. Nobody says you should. Okay, that ain't the point. That ain't the, somebody votes for somebody votes for number two for the latter. So basically, I just showed you. Okay, that's what it was when I was coming up. So when I said DNC, when they said DNC, 90% of the time was coming out of a black woman's mouth. Okay, that's what it was
Good.
for. Okay, the other reason they use the DNC is excessive bleeding. Say if she's having excessive bleeding and she can't, her periods won't stop, they'll actually go in and give her a DNC. That's what it's actually used for. Those two things are actually two major things it's actually used for.
Gotcha.
Got you. So I pulled it up. Okay, you could have pulled it up in what 5 seconds, but you didn't want to because you don't want to be wrong. Shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right, or shame, guilt, and need to be right. Me and Yana Van Zant came up with that. Okay, and the need to be right is strong with black women. Say the babies. Right. 41% of all pregnancies in the black community is done through abortion, okay? It's 40%, 41% abortion, 40% out of wedlock, and the other 10, 11, 12% is actually in wedlock, okay? 81, 82% of, you know, of black pregnancies, okay, wind up something that's not good. Let's put it that way, okay? I forget who said it. Okay, when you pass, two out of the three things are bad. Okay, only 1/3 is a completion. When a black woman gets pregnant, two out of the things that's gonna happen are bad: abortion or out of wedlock births. Okay.
Hmm. I was actually listening to this was two former they used to be like Democratic like white people. They were white folks, right? They were lists. They were talking about how it used to be.
If you want to bring your ass up as you can, okay? I don't care. You want to talk emotional labor, okay? The thing is, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Either you're going to accept what I say or not. I'm not going to argue because um, oh, hey Doc. I said when I talk about downloading, you should have seen in the pro black community. You see their eyes light up, man. Their eyes got big, like downloading. What's that? I said when she comes in with her babble at the end of the day, she wants to unload her emotions on you. That's downloading. No, they don't do that. And then he proceeded to say in his men's group, when they get together and they say, how come they'd rather be with the guys than be at home with the woman, they say exactly the same shit. Okay? All the stress and the talking and all kind of stuff that be home with the wife and kids, okay? The exact same shit.
You ask her what she wants. She just said, "No, I just want to talk about what."
About what? What is it? Like Corey Holcomb says, loose talk about
But boo. Yeah.
bullshit.
Yes, sir.
Loose talk about bullshit. So they asked me where does it come from, right? Okay. So I talked about studies. Gave them a couple of books. I talked about Jung and Anima and Animus. I talked about
Mhm.
philosophers, and then guess what they pulled on me?
What they say?
The Bible.
Oh no.
Well, if we just followed the Bible, then everything would be right. I said most people don't even understand the doggone
Most people don't.
Bible.
Most people don't read it.
I
Not
know they
most
don't
unless
read
you
it.
understand it.
And let's understand it. And plus, see, the last thing you wanted to go through with me is through the Bible. Okay,
That's not.
I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a Gnostic, and basically we don't read the Bible the same way
No.
because we got into it about the Garden of Eden in the Bible, and
Uh,
that was like a 3 day discussion.
oh goodness. Because you don't read the Bible with love and adoration. You read it for like, what is it saying?
What does it say? And plus, I read it with a lot of background. Okay, because
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff is meant for theology. The thing is, if I was teaching the Bible, okay, I wouldn't have them read the Bible first. Okay, I'd have them read a book like Ancient Egypt, Light of the World first about
Hmm.
Memphite theology. Okay, going back to the noon. Then
Hmm.
Um, I'd have them read in the evolution of
Religion.
religion. Yeah, origin
Right.
and
Right.
evolution of religion. And,
What's his
and
name?
then it'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah.
And then I have to read the Bible. If you go through those two things first, then the Bible will make much more sense to you.
Mhm.
Okay, then
Do
you
you do
know
like
exactly.
transliteration and stuff? Like, because what I did was for certain passages, what I do is like I'll go, especially for the New Testament, I'll go through like the Greek transliteration, be like,
Mm-mm,
what does the Greek word
mm-mm.
actually mean, and what does that mean for actual English? Because like a lot of
Uh.
time,
The symbol is all locked up in the symbology. Okay, the
hmm
symbols will tell you. Like I remember somebody was saying that before they actually changed the cross. The Roman Catholic the new Roman Catholic cross, right? The first cross
hmm
was an ankh.
ah,
Up until I think when did they change it? I think the Protestant cross, which is the Templar cross, without the circle, okay, without the womb at the top, okay.
yeah,
Then they changed it because if you go to the old Roman Catholic crosses, they still have the circle at the top, okay, which
mm,
is the ankh, which is with the ankh is the oldest one of the oldest religious symbols on earth.
symbols,
Okay, it
yeah,
goes back 100,000 years, right?
yeah,
That's how far back it goes. In fact, on statues, it's carved into the backs of statues. Like say on Easter Island, the ankh is
hmm
carved into their backs.
on the statue on the heads.
Now, no, when they dug the heads up, okay, and
Hmm.
for the full body, the ankh is carved. The ankh is actually carved on, especially on the males, okay, in his lower back.
Oh wow.
To symbolize basically since men are not born with a womb, so they carve it as rite of passage into their backs as an opening, okay, to actually
Ah,
give them the experience of what women go through with in childbirth,
mm,
and that's why they give you the circle with the male symbol at the bottom, right? That's the ankh.
yeah.
Good afternoon, BGS.
Good afternoon.
um, I had it's so many different angles with you. I tell you.
You have no idea, sweetie.
Whew,
You have,
gee,
we're not even getting into politics, the global politics right now, which I'm trying to deal with right now. Okay, you have no idea. If you hear me and Dr. Marifa talk about African politics and Middle East politics and white supremacy, you have no idea. Okay, you don't have a clue. You haven't even scratched the surface because you don't listen.
I do listen.
No, you
You
don't.
just accused me
No,
of
no,
that. You
no,
just
you
accused
don't.
me of that.
If you listened and it's just here, actually investigate what I tell you, you'll learn a hell of a lot more. Okay.
I hear you. But
Now,
it's a
what you
couple
come up
of
here
things.
for?
I
Go ahead.
came up here because it's huh.
Go ahead.
I came up here because it's a couple of things, and I just want to say a disclaimer to anybody in the audience or anybody who has a cult like behavior. I'm not here to stir up or cause any problems. I'm
One
just
thing,
saying.
one thing. I
I don't want no
vehemently
smoke.
now. Hey. Listen to what I'm saying. That cult shit. Don't bring over here with that cult shit. There's a reason they listen to me. Okay. It has nothing to do with cults. Okay. All the stuff that you just heard. That's why they listen to me. Okay. And trust and believe, just like Mr. J. Matt will tell you, he goes back and looks that stuff up, make sure that
I
I'm
got you. I
correct.
got
Okay.
you. I'm
See the
just
cult.
saying I
So
don't want anybody to.
they don't bring up their cult shit. Okay, don't bring that
I
shit
don't
up.
want anybody to think I'm attacking their dear leader and then come after
See,
me.
there you
It's
go.
disrespectful.
That's disrespectful right there.
Why
Okay.
is that disrespectful? I'm telling
No,
you
no,
what
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want.
no. I don't care. Don't get to the question. Stop with the other stuff. Okay.
You're disparaging his character is what you're doing,
Yes,
and
yes,
that
you're
of the
doing.
rest of
And,
the
Yeah,
and the subs behind me because those PhD, you got like three PhDs down there. Okay,
I see. I see. I see them in there.
okay.
I had a couple of thoughts, topic things within what you've been saying. I first of all want to say I want to talk about the D and C, and also the T Hassan Johnson. I see he's in the chat. I want to ask about his books if he
He
has a 10 point
he
plan.
has
I'll get to that, but
he
I'm
has
just
two he
introducing.
has two books. The emotional labor. He's comes contemplating the book. He actually wrote a paper. If you actually want the paper, email him. He'll actually give you the paper. Okay, he actually wrote the paper. Okay,
Well, I want to ask,
on male emotional labor.
does he have any plan? Because we talked about 10 point plan or something like that. I wanted to ask, does he have something like that as a prescription in his writing? And then the other thing is, yeah, I want to talk about me and you and emotional labor.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
and I heard you
Uh,
guys
do, do,
this today.
do you understand Carl Jung or Jungian
I'm not.
psychology?
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm
I
saying.
guess it's a yes or
I'm
no.
familiar with
It's a
Carl Jung.
do so. No, do you understand Carl Jung's version of the anima animus? Yes or no?
Not no 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 no.
Was in emotional labor can only be 10 years. Have you ever read the book Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus?
I've heard of the book, never read it.
Have you seen him speak about it?
I haven't. That's why I'm saying I want to talk about it.
Okay. The thing is, okay.
I know your concept that I've heard
I
you
no
talk
no no no.
about with emotional labor.
It's not my concept. It's derived from that. I'm telling you where I got it from. I'm telling you where I got it from.
Okay, can you explain it in like a definition?
Yeah. What color crayon you want?
A simple one.
No. What color?
Black.
Black. Oh, oh, you don't want black. No, but you
Yeah, I
get
do want black.
no. No. Black is too harsh. You get a nice little
Okay, give it
pastel.
to me in pink. Give it to me in pink. I'll take it in
That's
pink.
better. Okay. Okay. Fuzzy pink, okay? Basically, emotional labor, okay? Women, you know what? When women do emotional labor for men, right? Oh, baby, you had a hard day. Rub his head. You might hug him, might kiss him. Basically, said, I understand your problems. It'll be all good and better, right? Okay, that's female emotional labor, right? Everybody knows about that, right? Male emotional labor is basically women. Well, women have to have a male animus, a male mind to actually dump their emotions on. Their girlfriends can't do it. Okay, it's no good. See, mostly women have to dump that on a male mind. That's how come a lot of guys wind up in the friend zone. So you can actually dump on him. We used to
Beast
call that
Best.
the emotional tampon. Go ahead.
Now, okay. So actually, my question is like, is companionship for women different from companionship for men?
Yes.
If so, how? What's the variations? Like, what's the what? How do they juxtapose? If you,
You can use yourself. What do you pick a woman for?
Is that
um,
Charles?
No, don't worry about
A
it.
few things. I got like 5, 6 things.
No, give me the top three. What do you pick a woman for?
I beauty,
Okay.
fun, and intimacy, like
Okay,
hugs
intimacy. Okay.
and all that.
Okay. Okay. A woman. What does a woman pick you for? Okay. First thing is what?
I man,
Genetics. Genetics. What are her kids? If you understand what the nest is, okay, you understand a woman, right? First
Yeah.
thing she's gonna pick you on is genetics. Okay. What of this man can I give him, my child? Intelligence, maybe. Okay. Depends on what she wants. If she's not good looking, she wants a guy that's better looking than she is. Okay. If you hear about the hair all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
so we talking inheritance and stuff on like
We're talking
the
about
genetic.
Yeah.
genetics. Okay.
How tall is
And
he? He got muscles.
in other words, genetics is your physical appearance that you're born with. Sometimes your intelligence, brain size, eye color, hair color, all that kind of stuff. That's genetics, right? Okay. Height, weight, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. That's those are genetics, right? Understand that?
They're prowess and stuff too, right? Intimately.
Do you understand that? I'm asking yes or no.
Yeah, too. Yes, sir.
Okay, So genetics is number one. Okay, that's all females throughout the spectrum, right? From a bacteria all the way up to a could be a Venusian. It doesn't matter, right? Genetics is first. Okay. Uh,
Uh,
the next thing is to actually raise her children. She needs what? Stability. Okay.
resource. Yeah, consistency
Stability.
of
Okay.
resources.
Resources could be research, could be hard work, could be a whole bunch of things, right? Okay. Stability. Okay.
Be
Okay.
healed.
And the last thing is security. Okay, those are the top three things a woman will pick a man for. Now,
Can you knock some shit out if shit get bad?
say what?
If you can you knock some shit out if shit get bad?
Sometimes that's more important, but thing is, those are the top three things that women will pick a man for. Okay. In fact, you go to as the video I put out 5 things about women. I talk about that. What are the things that women pick men for? The best 2 books are for really the best book about that kind of stuff. Really is the Lucifer Principle. He talks about that throughout the whole book. But
Yes.
he
It's a
starts
great book.
he starts with a bacteria. He goes if you want to know what henpecked is. He talks about henpecks. He talks
Yeah.
about basically the
Ape societies. He
ape
goes into that.
society and the gorillas, how the gorillas is,
Mhm.
Listen,
basically even lions. Why do you think lions fight? Okay, it's genetics. Okay,
Yeah.
the
our balloon,
peacocking.
Yeah.
It's about genetics. Okay, go ahead.
our balloon.
Who? Howard Bloom. Yes,
Okay.
It's a good book, man. You should read it.
All right.
a lot of good stuff. Okay,
A lot
and
of it.
the other thing is the alchemy of love and lust. Okay,
I
by
was
Teresa
just
Crenshaw.
I was just talking to one of my clients about like alpha males in the like ape and animal kingdom and all that other type stuff. How other people perform. Well,
Alpha males are not picked by women. Alpha males are actually picked by the men because those are the men that the males follow. Okay.
well,
What an alpha male is to a woman is a completely
it
different thing.
you know what? When you say this, right, it made me want to address May. It's something that she said about.
Nah, don't address me. Okay.
Okay, well, I want to make a quick statement as far as like leadership, eldership, and stuff like that. That's
Uh
something
huh.
I
Why
think.
you act like that,
Hey,
BGS?
hey,
You
hey,
asked me
hey,
to come.
hey, 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 hey. Whose
You
panel
asked
is
me to
this?
come up and talk, and you say I'm all get.
May. Whose panel is this? Whose panel is this? Okay.
Okay.
Mind your business. Okay. Evil twin is out. He ain't playing today. Go ahead, man.
el- Eldership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eldership is often used by other people who don't understand the value of eldership because it doesn't necessarily mean leadership. It means respect. Because I'm a man of my own accord,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more so I think that older men, the older men that's respected is
Mm-hmm.
chosen by the men that's younger,
Yes.
not just guidance, but just to gain understanding. Because with age come wisdom, resources as far as
Yeah,
intelligence.
in other
That
words,
I think that
even a drunk with a red cup can tell you what the mistakes he made and what not to do. I
right,
listen to
and
them all the time. Okay, all them
there
drug addicts just tell me their life and how they got caught up and what not. I learned what not to do.
Yeah.
and there's respect there's a respect from a man that can be learned from, and I think that's misconstrued by people following like in a cult or something. That's what I wanted to like speak to. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, the reason that they say I'm a cult leader is to disrespect you, not me. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, they
Like,
disrespect me.
No, you guys fit
that's
the
female game.
description of a cult.
what is
Y'all
it?
just y'all fit the description.
What is the description of a cult?
People who have a leader, a dear leader, and that person is the
What
source of much. You
what
didn't let
do
me
you?
finish. See, this is what you do. You
Hey, hey,
instead
hey,
of
hey, 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 hey! Stop.
you ask me a question, you don't let me finish.
Finish. Okay.
So a cult basically is a group that coalesces around a common idea or a goal, but they have a dear leader, and that dear leader is the source of information, leadership, and knowledge. And they pretty much subscribe to it completely, and they're not allowed to really. I won't say allowed, but they don't intend to question anything, and they will follow blindly. They will, and I
Oh,
think that's a good thing, if it's used for good.
So,
Yeah.
so all
Hey,
those people
BGS, you Jim Jones man.
people that come up here and argue with me in my own subs, that's following blindly.
I'm sorry to
I've
hear that.
seen people try to challenge you, and they do not do well. You cut
They
them
have
right on
talent.
That's
So
your
down.
fault.
is that cult? Is that a cult?
I think so.
If it was a cult, he would ban them.
I would ban them. Basically, a cult follows a
Get
charismatic
stomped
leader.
out.
Okay, a charismatic leader. That's a
Yeah,
cult. Okay,
That's
Jim
exactly what I'm saying.
Jones,
Jim Jones, that
Waco,
kind of stuff. Okay,
Texas.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
Okay, well,
we have a
you're
lot of
close. You're close in there. Let me just say that you're
hold
close.
on. You have a lot of business people like Elon Musk. Does he run a cult?
I can say Apple is a cult, and I'm part of the Apple cult. It's not a bad word.
You're in a
yeah,
cult?
it
Wait,
is a
wait, wait,
bad
wait,
word.
wait, wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
You in a cult? Why you bring what?
Then every religion is a cult.
Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
almost, almost.
But that's not the way you use it when you come over here, is it?
Huh?
When you say a cult, that you mean in a derogatory manner when you come over here and say it's a cult. Okay.
I think most traditional people who are Christian based probably call a cult a bad thing. I think a
a
cult
cult is a bad thing in English language.
Yes, it
That's what
is.
the
in
word
a
means.
Western
It has a
culture,
negative
yeah.
connotation.
Yes.
No, it has a
Well,
bad connotation. Full stop. That's what the word is. Like terrific, meaning terrific isn't a bad thing, historically speaking. Terrific actually is a bad thing. Terrific, the word is mean full of
Isn't
character.
it related
Yeah,
to
you,
20 years
hey,
ago, terrific
May,
was a bad word.
you know, like half the people follow me hate my guts.
That's true.
I got to disagree with
uh,
yes.
Half the people, half of my subs hate my guts. They do. Okay.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to believe. I know it. Okay. They hate my guts. Okay. But why do they listen to me though?
Are you right?
Because I'm
I
right.
think partly because you got a lot of information. I think it's interesting the way you. I'm not going to use the W word, but the way you put it together. I think
Okay.
that's what I find fascinating. The way you connect things that are not connected at all. That I find fascinating.
But the thing is it accurate?
Individually, some of the stuff that you say,
What did I what I
sure, yeah, a
whatever
lot of it's accurate.
whatever I've given you that's wrong?
I say that's the way you put it together, like you
No, no.
layer stuff to build a narrative, and I
What
think that is
have
amazing.
I given you that is wrong?
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way you put
Okay.
certain ideas
Okay.
together.
Okay.
You
You've been
say that this one caused
you,
that one. The
you,
facts are correct, but you
when
make that this
when
thing is the reason why that thing was the cause, and I just think that part is interesting.
when you teach, right? You've been a teacher, right? Okay.
Of course, of course.
Do you weave fact things together to
Here
make
we
it
go.
understandable for people? I'm asking. Do you? Do you?
I layer information so that
Yes.
people
Yes.
understand the
So
connection.
exactly. That's all I'm
But the
doing.
way you do it, that's something else. That's just
How am
very
I going?
creative.
How am I actually going to get you to understand high tariffs in the monetary system without doing that?
Did you know what I'm talking about? That
No, no, no,
narrative
no,
you
no.
have, that origin
Listen,
story.
origin story about what? Which one? Which origin
That
story?
stuff you doing is catching. I just want you to know that you
Which
got other
which
men
which,
out here.
which
Said
origin
nothing though.
story you talk
I'm really
you
curious to know.
what are you talking about?
I'm
Thing is, you know what I hate, May? Okay, you're gonna throw something out there. Explain what you're talking about.
Well, you when you when, like for example, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that you do,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even get to talk about what I was. Okay.
No, 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 no.
Um,
You veered off like a woman would normally do. Okay, explain what you're talking about. You brought it up.
the way that you say, I don't even. I haven't even read the Monahan report yet. I know we talked about it yesterday,
Now,
but
don't even bring that up. What
I'm just
stuff? The
using
stuff.
that as an
No, no,
example.
no, no,
This
no,
is
no,
the
no.
reason. Well,
Stick
okay,
to the
forget it.
s-
Welfare is what
welfare.
caused the black man
No,
to da 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 da.
no, no,
It's
no, no,
like,
no, no,
come
no, no, no,
on.
no, no,
wait,
no, no.
wait.
The welfare. Well, okay, then
Did
you
you?
haven't listened to me. Okay, the family was already damaged. Okay, black community is actually an artificial construct. It was not built to be together in a family structure. It wasn't. It's there to actually produce slaves and labor.
Right.
When you release them and you put them in Jim Crow underneath the same conditions, it never actually coagulates into a culture, right? It's damaged, okay? So what happens when you don't correct these people, okay? Make them whole, give them a proper culture, and then give them money. What's going to happen?
Hmm.
What's going to happen?
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, okay. Give a 10-year-old $10 million. What's going to happen?
You make
Love
foolish
yourself.
decisions.
He's gonna make foolish decisions. He's gonna do all kind of crazy crap because he can, right?
Hmm.
Okay, because he hasn't been taught the value of money and what to do with it, right? Same thing would happen to the black community, especially with the black woman, because if the Monahan, if you think about it, okay, you got it from Clark. The split didn't happen to it actually gave women welfare. All it did was actually expose the cracks that are already there. That's exacerbated the problem. So they had to figure out, okay, what is the problem? How can we fix this? Okay, how can we
Well, are
actually?
you saying like are you saying 70%?
Hold on, hold on,
I have
hold
a
on, hold on.
question.
No,
I
I
have a
don't.
question.
No. What I'm saying is, you haven't. Okay, what did I just say? Repeat what I just said.
You said when you gave them money, that's where the split that
The
was there,
the
it
crack.
cracked open.
No, the
Yeah, all the
cracks were
way.
the cracks were already just exposed. The cracks. Okay. Now, what's your question?
My question is just a clarity question. Or how much percentage of the black community dealt with this welfare crack that you're talking about, this break? What percentage of black families? Was it 70%, 80%, 100%?
What is it? Back then, it was about 30%.
That's a small amount for
No,
I
that
it's
to
not.
I
No,
would
no,
No,
just
no,
it's
no,
not.
no. It was over a very short amount of time.
Okay.
it,
The thing is, okay, when you layer in welfare, when you layer in affirmative action, you give women jobs and shit like that. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna
Yeah.
split.
Yeah.
And black women never wanted to be under you in the first place. They
And
were
the
under you because
feminist
they had to.
standpoint,
No,
it
no.
sorry.
30.
Go back and read Fraser's book. Okay, black women never wanted to be with you in the first place.
No, I'm just saying like
thir-
the feminists will use those numbers to be like, well, the reason why we left is because black men were no good.
Okay.
And
Um,
that's the prevailing narrative that women will use to kind of justify the split that happened back then.
No, the thing
it,
is, the thing is, I don't blame them. Okay, black women took the money. Okay, you took the money. It's
Yeah,
okay.
sure. No, I'm
It's
saying,
okay.
but what
It's
they'll do is they'll use the modern feminist language
no.
to to uh to to position themselves as that was the only option because black men were so bad slash
No,
evil,
no,
shiftless,
no,
and all
okay.
everything.
If we were
so,
bad and shiftless and not working, and you took the money and left, that's okay. Say that, okay?
but
Stop,
there's
stop,
something
stop saying that black men left the family. They didn't. You left them.
and there's something to
Well,
consider.
I'm not arguing all that stuff. I'm just simply saying that those are the type of things you say this happened and that caused that. I do have a quick question for you,
Well, see,
BGS. One question.
hold on,
Look,
hold on,
look,
hold on,
look.
hold
Oh,
on, hold on. Okay, you
okay.
don't layer in all the other stuff that I said. You pick one thing and said this is actually this definitive point, and it's not. It's more complex than that. It's way more
Um,
complex than that. You don't listen to the whole thing. You listen to this one little thing, and that's what you dial in on. It's more complex than that. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you believe that marrying a white woman? This is I want a real like your perspective
Get to it.
because there's this flaw. Okay, there's this inherent flaw in black folk. Do you
Hmm.
believe for a black man marrying a white woman is an instant corrector? Is
No,
that how he cleanses
Objection.
no,
himself?
it's not. It's
He
not a.
cleanses himself of all problems.
No, it's not. In fact, he gains more problems by marrying a white woman than correcting them.
Yep.
Interesting. How?
Motherfucker
Oh,
can die.
no. Okay, Donovan Sharp, who's married to a white woman, right? What does he say? Okay, number one, I can't argue with her. Cops will come in and kill me. Okay, I can't. If I drive with a white woman, okay, in a car, a cop can stop actually accost me because I have a white woman in the car. Okay,
They will
she
do that.
actually she actually brings more problems than she actually helps with. Okay. That's why
It's
white
the
women have
most
to do.
socially taboo affair.
That's why white women have to do way more for a black man to be with him than a black one does. Okay, because she's dangerous to actually be around.
She got to prove she like him.
She had a. In other words, there ain't no black man gonna step to a white woman unless she proves that she's gonna want to be. She actually wants to be with him.
Yep.
Because
Is that
because
proof
because a
vivid?
white if a white woman dials, especially in a mixed area or white area, dials 911, you better be leaving out of that house. Okay, you don't
I
want to
can
be there when they get
understand that.
there.
Yeah, I can understand.
A white woman
So,
brings way more problems to a black man than vice versa. Okay,
But you have a subscription of
and this
guys
is
who are what's it called SYSBM. I think
have
I said it right.
have you
it's
stu-
not about
ha-
being with white women.
have you studied what they say?
I have went to something that they have, which is like an outline. I forgot who the guy was by, and I
Okay,
looked at it.
okay, hold on a second.
But what I
Give
was
me
gonna say
no,
is
no,
that
no,
they
no, no, no,
believe.
no, 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 no. Give me your understanding of what you think SYSBM is. Okay.
I went to that and I looked at it. It's like a list of
Like, okay,
concepts.
give me the concepts. What do you know? What do you remember?
It was like 20, 30 things on it, but the main thing
Give me the top
I'm gonna give you the
five.
overview. The overview
Give
is
me the
just
top
basically
five.
okay. The overview
Just
of it
five.
that I understood was just that black men are kind of at a disadvantage in society,
Yes.
and if they end up with a white or other woman, they somehow can balance out the power dynamics.
No.
Maybe
No.
um,
No.
she's an enhancement. She's doing something better for him, like
She
that.
She has
she,
to.
she treats him better.
They get along.
She treats him better.
Okay, but what I'm asking is this:
She treats
is
him
that a
better.
prescription? Okay, I hear you. I hear you. We'll assume that, but I've seen some white women
No, no,
knock
no,
this
no, no,
black
no, no,
man
no.
out
No,
and do all kind of stuff
that happens.
on the internet.
Okay. She
Call them niggers.
overall,
I've seen a lot.
overall, overall, women that are not non-black treat black men better. Overall.
Yep.
Okay. But
Other,
what I was going to say is this: is I've seen them almost say that they are purifying their blood, or they're somehow absolved of negrohood.
no,
They're washing themselves
no,
and
no,
purifying, and now they're
no,
perfect and better because
no,
they have a white woman. Their
no,
Negro flaws are
no, no.
their Negro flaws are over. That's what I'm
Let me ask
talking
a
about.
question. Wait,
Go
wait,
ahead.
wait, wait. May. How are you here asking about emotional labor and just completely overlooking and lobbing what like a lot of black men are defaulting to women of different like geographic places. Like the emotional labor is less work for more love. Niggas like hugs and affection and shit
Yeah,
and say
and
you can do it.
the thing,
The
Well, I'm
same
sorry
way
you can't
shit.
find a black woman
the,
that does that for you. I'm so
the,
sorry.
the thing is, we have the most hard to deal with mean women on the planet. Okay,
For
Oh
it is
Lord,
honey.
what
here
it
go the victim
is.
narrative.
No, it is. It
It's
is
not
what
a
it is.
victim.
Yep.
It's not victim. It's an experience,
Oh,
and
okay,
to
good.
invalidate that,
I'll give
turn
you
it
an
down.
example. I was talking to one of my girls from my channel, right? Okay, and she went to a mixed school, right? Okay, and she was saying how the black guys dated the white women. So I asked her why. Okay, she said they will let them drive their cars, they will let them use their credit cards, they will buy them lunch, they will do all these sweet things for the black men, right? So I said, okay, so how come you didn't do that? I'm not doing all of that. Enough said. Okay.
Prove your own point.
Dr. Umar said the exact same thing. He said, why do black men date snow bunnies? With snow bunny is going to be with him at the start, okay? She's going to be with him at the start. She's not going to wait till the finish line, okay? Black woman's
Yep.
not going to do that, okay?
She's not gonna say get your money up, nigga,
Yeah.
and then wait and then move on.
She going to come in, no matter what she does at the end, she going to say, I'm going to get in on the ground floor, okay? I'm going to help him get where he needs to get, okay?
Yep.
Most black women will not do that.
I'm
Don't
not
they call it
investing in
YOLO?
no man.
And
Isn't that
if you do that, then the other black ones say you're giving him way too much. You should be on his behind. You should block yada 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 yada. In fact, black ones say you should be meaner to him. Okay,
Yep.
I know I've heard that from my own family. Okay, in fact, the thing is that say you go. If say if a black man goes get a woman from another race and brings her back home, right? Okay. First thing the women try to do is change her into one of them.
Shame
You,
her that she's being weak.
she been weak. You too nice. You too agreeable. Blah 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 blah. He's not gonna respect you. This, that, and the third. Okay. That's why. That's because I talked to SYSBM from almost the very beginning of their existence. Right. This is what they tell me. Okay.
But I want to say, I think it's unfortunate that y'all have not had experiences with nice black women. That's just unfortunate.
that's what's out here?
Well,
Unfortunate.
the thing is, why are there so few nice black women?
That's what you say. I don't believe that.
Yeah, you
It's
know,
not necessarily belief. Is it?
no, no. So how many black women have you dated?
I'm looking at the fact that we have people who,
How many
you know,
black
you know.
women
Well,
have
I ain't
you
no
dated?
lesbian, so I'm no lesbian. So that's an argument that you're
So,
just trying to win based on my sex and gender.
so in other words, you have no idea what black men go through as far as dating,
How
do you?
many have you dated?
Hmm? Oh, we don't. Do
Since
we
you're
really want to
asking me,
know? Do we
how many
really
you
want to
dated?
know?
But
Really want to know? Okay.
Yeah, really. Yeah, yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. I got what is it? A
Little
triple
black book.
digit. I got a triple digit notch count. Let's put it that way.
Hey, them
Triple
streets,
digit
boy.
notch, 30 something, 30.
No,
Oh,
no.
yes.
Triple digit is
oh,
100, baby, and
that's
over. Okay.
double.
Oh, you meant literal. Oh, okay.
No,
I
no,
meant
no. Hey, no, what?
That's
Come
three
on now.
digits.
You
Six
talk.
triple
that's
digit
I
six,
just woke up. Y'all
three
leave me alone.
figure.
I just woke
No,
up. I just woke up.
that's
You talking
half
to
your
Will
ain't
Chamberlain out
behavior.
ain't
here?
ain't ain't no excuse for that. Okay, we don't take the excuses like that.
Okay, fine, fine, fine. Y'all
You-
funny.
Nah, we accurate. What are you talking about?
No, but seriously, I mean, I think the emotional labor
We
part, from what I,
Get to the emotional
can y'all
labor.
hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the emotional labor part that y'all are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to mention this too. Let me say this. One of the things I've noticed is that black women who are docile and kind of lame and just go with whatever, y'all don't
Mm-hmm.
like them type of women. Admit it, y'all. Admit it. Y'all don't
that's
like them. They be
so
the single ones. Y'all don't like them.
No, they're
Y'all don't
married.
value them.
No, most of them are married.
Nah, I'm married. I'm a nice lady. No, that's
No,
not
no,
it.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, no, no.
No,
Most
no.
of the docile women are married.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife.
it.
Yes.
I
Mo,
think that's
mo,
the.
very few single docile women. Very few.
I think there's other factors that contribute to that because being docile, that's one attribute out of many. I think I could think about the type of woman that you're describing or whatever, but I don't know. I get it.
Can you say it again? I didn't understand. Can you say it again?
I kind of see where you're coming from. Oh shit! I kind of see where you're coming from. Not like all the way, but a lot of being docile is one attribute. There's other different type of women. I guess aren't like socio culturally like quick. I would say like how can I say?
I
I
got
got a
a
Think
question.
question.
I mean, how do you define docile?
Well, I'm just saying, like they
Man.
don't really have leadership skills. They just kind of let you
What?
say whatever, and they don't challenge anything at all. It's almost kind of like they're a little bit. I'm describing it. They're a little bit like not. They're not dumb per se, but they come
They're not
across like they don't have a functional brain a little
Weak
bit.
women is what you call them.
Leadership skills? What are you talking about?
You don't like women if you say that.
what?
Say
What?
what?
I like one.
BJ,
What are you
I have a
talking about?
question.
I'm listening to you,
Go ahead.
BGS. I'm listening. I'm listening.
And yeah, I know you ADHD. You're all over the
Yeah,
place. Okay.
that's going on.
Hey,
That's
BGS,
happening.
would you?
In other words, when you say leadership skills, okay, why would a man want that
That's
from a
crazy.
woman?
You do want some leadership skills in a woman because
Why?
you don't want her to be. She doesn't have to use them on you, but she has to have them because she teaches children. She leads children. She guides them. She's a mother. That's part of
You don't
leadership.
need
Let's not
leadership
pretend.
skills to
No,
tell people what to
let's
do.
not. Hold on, wait. Let's not
Hey,
pretend that leader. I'm just trying to
stop.
say, cause make a comment. Let's not pretend that
Mm-hmm.
leadership is not a skill that is valuable in females. It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
BJ, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Um, and this is a follow from May, but why do you think women uh try to emulate or uh have a different view or
Mm.
perception about a woman because they don't behave or display what they imagine and then
Because
look down upon it?
because black women, all women actually work from the inside out. Okay, they think everybody's like them. Okay, they're the template for everybody because
Okay.
they depend on connection. Men don't do that.
They're inherently
Can we?
solipsistic.
Inherently,
BGS, can we
yeah,
say
inherently,
that,
yeah.
that women are actually the template for misogyny in some shape or form when they do
Um.
that shit?
Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's a whole different story. Okay.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's where the henpeck comes in, right? Henpecks and
Yes.
back in the line. The henpeck's not for the roosters. That's for the females. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Because the reason why I asked that question, and it's
Mm.
not directly to attack you, um, a lot of your statements are basically, it seems like you're internalizing what a woman should be based on your perception.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that's I think is very disturbing is that to have this perception and have it's like a grand perception without even asking the men on their particular perspectives,
You, you,
because
you,
obviously these men chose these men, these women chose these men.
you know what? My mentor, she actually used to host a lot of male female discussion groups. Okay, she said that all the time, right? Especially with black women, right? Okay, they're always trying to tell the men what to think.
Yep.
Always trying to tell men what to think.
And
Okay.
then shame them when they don't
And then
recognize.
shame when you don't think their way. Okay,
Yeah.
leadership skills. Okay, men don't look for leadership skills in women. Okay, they don't.
That's sad if y'all don't because that's one of the things that you need in a woman as far as being
Yeah,
a
no,
But
mother.
but again,
Agree.
this
You
May, this
you,
is
actually
you,
what I'm
do. Like,
talking
come on, are
about.
y'all serious?
May. You're telling men
Are you
what they need.
serious?
No, you're telling men what
Man,
they
y'all
need.
can't
Okay.
even y'all
Can,
y'all
can,
can't
can,
even with the
I'm not
leadership
telling men what
skills
you
that
need. I'm telling you
You
what's
are
the
you.
May
function.
No. You
May
telling us what we
A lot of
need.
y'all don't even have wives,
check
so
it
you
out,
wouldn't
May.
even
Check it
know,
out,
Hey,
May.
really.
I,
Stop.
Check
Okay.
yeah,
I
May.
have
If
When
you
you
gonna start
speak about
shaming, no, no,
leadership
no.
skills,
If you gonna start
I'm
shaming
not
no.
men,
shaming. I'm just
hey,
telling you.
No,
I'm not
May,
shaming.
okay. What did you say when a lot of
You
guys don't
won't let
have
me
wives?
finish a sentence, BGS. Jeez,
It didn't make
you
sense.
do this all the
Lord,
time.
I do because I'm trying to
you're
keep
so
you in check.
emotional.
Okay.
You
You
don't
try
want me to complete a
to make
sentence, though.
No. You shamed men by saying y'all
That's
don't
not
have wives.
shaming.
That is
I
May,
shaming.
said
asking a
they
valid
don't
That
have
is
question.
wives, so they never
no.
picked the wife. They
There
don't
is
know.
shaming. That
You
is
do want a
shaming.
leadership
okay,
skill in a
Hey,
wife.
May,
That's
no, they
crazy.
don't. No, you don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
It
They want a
May.
you
So
sorry
said
if
woman
I
then.
told,
They
They,
want a
they want
stupid
May,
woman.
they want you to follow directions.
no,
That's what they
whoa,
want.
so
whoa.
See,
May, if I
see.
told, if I made a statement about women and it was directly towards you, saying that black women need to be in the kitchen, would you not find that insulting?
I didn't say need to be anything. I'm saying I'm
No. I
answering your
said that.
question.
No. I said if I
Need
made a
to be.
statement,
I said
yes.
that's a good trait to have in
You
a
simply
woman
said
because
that
you want a
men.
mother. Can I explain what I mean? Because
No,
y'all
you
were
Lord,
can't.
trying to take it.
oh,
You
See,
simply
you ain't want
said.
me to
Lord.
explain nothing. See how
Hey, can I say
BGS, you
something
don't.
real quick?
You want to argue with somebody, you let them talk.
All right.
Oh, she left.
No. I dropped her.
Lord.
Okay.
Oh
So
You
no.
said it's sad that men
May
don't
doesn't
want women who
understand that
lead
Yeah.
them.
In other
This
words,
this claim of leadership.
when she get wound up like that, she got to calm down. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
So I
the
think
claim of leadership is
I'll bring it back.
crazy.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think
The-
she
the-
don't. I don't think she
One at a time.
understands that we
No,
understand. I don't think.
she's not a man. She don't understand. Okay.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
don't.
I don't think she understands that we understand. I think she don't understand. We don't understand what she's saying, but
Yeah.
she's also wrong and accurate. And I'll say, as a young man, of what I want in a woman, I don't want a woman who necessarily have leading skills. I want someone who could pretty much advise, give me advisory, be
What,
like
um,
like
most
I
men want a woman that will follow his
yeah.
precepts.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm not
if
disputing that.
So
I'm
Nah,
May,
not
nah,
hold on,
nah, nah.
hold on,
disputing
hold on,
Hey,
that.
hold
hey,
on,
hey,
hold on.
hey, hey, hey,
Let me
hey.
get
I'm
my
talking to
thoughts in
him. I'm
real
not
quick.
talking to you.
I still think I still think there's a misunderstanding of a woman following a man's lead. If I'm drawing out the lines, I need the
Hmm.
woman to color the line
And
and
follow.
make
Yeah.
put context to my content, complement what
I,
I'm
Eh,
doing,
eh,
not
eh,
I
take
eh,
don't
my take
disagree with that.
everything.
in other
I,
words, that's not leadership. Okay.
it's not
That's fellowship.
I
Okay.
don't
exactly.
disagree with that. I said
Uh,
earlier,
So
y'all didn't hear me. I said
uh,
she doesn't use it on him.
she,
She doesn't use
May,
those
that's
leadership skills on him. Let me finish, y'all. She
Hey,
All
doesn't
right,
use it on him.
good.
She
I'm
simply,
finished.
I'm just saying a
hey, hey,
complete
hey,
sentence.
hey, hey! You
A
cut
complete
people.
sentence, please.
You cut people off all the time. Okay.
Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll just sit here then.
I,
May.
Let him
So
finish,
that,
and we're gonna go about 10 more minutes of this because I'm getting a headache. Okay.
I, I'm,
This is
I'm
fucking
clear.
emotional labor that I don't like doing. Okay.
It's emotional labor because you cut people off and trying to control every word and
I
listen, let me talk.
guess what? It's my fucking panel. I can do that, right?
Well, that's why you got the headache, not me.
So I'll say this.
You know what? I know how to get rid of the headache.
Good Lord.
I, let me say this real
Hey,
quick.
I know
You
how to
gonna
wait,
get.
I
drop
got a
me?
question.
You don't
Hey,
want
I
you
me
got
to
a
want me?
talk?
question for
You
May.
want me to get rid of the headache, man?
Let,
No,
wait,
I'm
Well then,
not the headache.
shut
real
up
quick.
and let
Yeah,
him
May,
talk.
I want you.
I have a question for
I,
May. Hold
May,
on.
Go ahead.
I
I have a
want you to do
question for
this.
Uh,
May. Go
Let me
ahead, bro.
hey,
let,
one at a time, y'all. That's why I don't like
all
bringing
right, let
women
me
up here. Okay. If you
let me
guys
say
want to
this,
talk
and
to
I'll
me,
be quiet.
invite her to your channel. Okay.
That's
One
Okay.
at
so
a time.
I,
Go,
mean.
go.
That's
Huh?
so mean.
Huh?
I'll say
No.
this.
You mean. You
I,
mean.
I want to say this before I
Wait a
be
minute.
quiet.
Look who's talking.
Peter.
Look who's talking.
I'll say this.
No. Hold on,
I'll say
man.
this, and
Hold on.
Come on, man.
Look who's talking, man, about being mean. Look who's talking. You're the paragon of gentleness and comportment, right? On this panel,
I don't
right?
ever get aggressive until
Yes.
you just keep cutting me off.
No. You've been. I don't have to cut you off. You do that anyway. Okay. You cut people
all right.
off all the time. Now, brother, ask your question, and then Leon. Okay. When I say
Okay.
stop, I mean stop. Okay. Not talk through me. Okay. Now, ask your
So
question. Ask your question, then Leon.
it's more of a statement than a question. I'll be quiet, right? Man, I want you to go back and listen to this, right, and pay attention to my yieldness and me stopping and being mindful and careful of the reverence and respect of not just the elder or whatever like that, but there's a level of how can I say yieldness and reverence for not just hierarchy, but respect of positionality, and what's respected among men about what it is to play a role and play a position, especially for a woman. A woman's role is not necessarily to take one's idea and then make it theirs and whatever. It's a compliment. I think there's a disconnect of understanding
Shorten it
the.
up.
And I'm pretty much. I think I've said what I wanted to say already, but I just wanted to I'm more giving game than critiquing and being mean or whatever. I'm kind
Oh,
of like trying
okay.
to pour into.
You
That's
know
all.
why I
Uh,
don't normally ask women up here is because every guy wants to get their angst out on that particular woman or their opinion out. You have 10 guys that all want their turn.
It's
Okay.
called a
I want. Hey,
conversation, BGS.
hey. Was I talking to you?
Oh gosh.
Was I talking to you? You cut me off. Was I talking to you?
I'm not a good cult person. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No. That's called manners. Okay.
called courtesy.
That's what I was trying to get to.
That's called manners. I was not. You don't run this panel. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. It didn't apply to you. Go ahead, Leon. What's your question? What is your question or statement? What is it?
They brought up female leadership, and you said education and teaching your kids, and you said black women are good leaders. Is that what you're saying?
No, 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 no. I wish I could have just been able to say the sentence completely to be understood
Nay,
instead of
nay. So
misunderstood.
you're not
No,
saying
no,
that.
I'm just, let me finish the
I'm
sentence.
not
I'm
trying to have a whole
explaining.
conversation with you. It's just
I'm
yes or no.
trying to explain. Y'all don't
No,
let,
you.
y'all get me up
No,
here. If you
May,
ask me a
May,
question, you
May,
don't let me
May,
finish
May,
and you
May,
misunderstand everything I
May,
said.
May. We give you
You
a
see what he's
minute.
doing? That's why nobody can get a conversation with y'all.
Okay. Well then,
Nay,
well
I
then
asked
you.
you a simple question. If that's what
Why?
you're saying,
Well, why you bring your
I'm
ass up
trying to
here?
answer. Can you
Why
just
you?
let me stop being
it's a
interrupted?
yes or no. It's just a yes or
It's not.
no question.
Jesus Christ! Finish the question, okay? Finish the
Okay.
question.
She said that black women are good leaders and black women need not to be docile because you have to raise kids. I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused because a lot of docile women tend to educate their kids appropriately. Then instead of being this leader that's exerting themselves, the father comes in and checks the kids, and the kids get back to what they're doing with their mother. So when she's claiming this leadership and education and teaching your kids, I mean, look across the board. Do black boys read on grade level? No, they don't. They fail. Y'all not good leaders. Nowhere in history have y'all shown to be a group of good leaders.
All right. Shorten it up. Are you done?
I'm
Or
done.
you got one more? Okay. Now she can
Yeah.
answer it if she understood what you're saying.
Okay, I was not saying any of that stuff that he's talking about. When I said you want leadership skills, characteristics, and traits, that's good in every human being on the planet. Women are not the exception. I said, and I'm saying it's not about her using leadership skills on her husband or her man, but she needs to have leadership skills for survival purposes. Because in his absence, when he goes, somebody got noise.
I know somebody's in the refrigerator with the ice cream like that. I mean, you
Oh,
just
that's
keep.
the garage, my car garage. My
Okay.
bad.
Because when that man, like I have a military father, right, growing up, and when he was gone, my mother had to make sure that the bills were paid, that things were managed, that she could do everything. And that is what I'm talking about. That's survival skills. If he dies, she has enough common sense and ability to navigate the world. Those are leadership skills and teaching and guiding groups and communities, civic organizations, all kind of things women do in society. You want an intelligent woman. That's all I was saying. I wasn't trying to say, oh, she needs to lead a man. It's not about
Okay.
black women. It's all
Right.
women. And lastly,
Okay.
I'll just give you an
No.
example
Let's
real
finish.
quick.
Real quick.
Real,
Shorten it up.
real quick. I was in an apartment complex when I was young, and I remember a whole bunch of Somali women. All their men were cab drivers. They were out. This is in Decatur. And what happened was a fire alarm went off. And I don't speak the same language as the Somali women. They were so dumb and so stupid and unable. They did not know what to do. No men around. They were running in and out of the house
Shorten
yelling.
it
And
up. Shorten it up.
that's all. Never mind.
Okay. In other
Okay.
words,
I
guess
want
what?
to hear the
Oh, hold
story.
on a second. Hold on a second. Guess what?
Never mind.
They were married, weren't they?
The men were not there, and those women did not know how to
What did
get.
what did I ask?
The
What did
men did
I
not.
what did I ask, May?
This need to control every little word is just annoying.
No. What did I ask? I
I'm
said
trying to tell the story,
no.
but
You told the story. Well, they
you
were
didn't let me
married.
finish the point, though.
There's a reason. I did let you finish the point. Okay.
You didn't
Yes, I
actually.
did. Yes, I
Yes,
did.
he
Okay.
did,
I didn't
brother.
tell you
They
the
were
moral
yes.
of the
No,
story.
they were married though, weren't they? Were they not married?
There were most all of them, yeah, they're married women, but
They,
without the husband.
okay.
Let me just finish, BGS. Without
Okay.
the husband, they did
Okay.
not know what to do. They literally did not understand the concept of the fire
Yeah,
drill.
we got
Not the
that.
fire drill.
We got
They
that.
didn't understand the fire. And so they were running in and out, yelling and screaming in their own culture. And I had to run through there, upstairs and downstairs, and tell them as best I could in my own language. They don't have, they have limited
Okay.
language. You guys, grab your kids. Come with me. Follow me. Go outside.
Okay.
It's a
Okay, okay.
fire. Let's
We got
go. Let's go.
we got
They
you.
were
May,
We
very
got we
unorganized and they didn't even know
May
how to lead
May,
themselves.
May, we
I'm
got
May,
you.
sorry. Y'all
Okay,
get me
May.
so pissed off.
the thing, what you said originally is that
It's
men.
not even a conversation.
Hey, listen to what I'm saying, okay? What you originally said was that meek, docile women don't get married, okay? That's what you originally said, right? I said it wasn't true.
I didn't say they don't get married. I said a lot of y'all don't want to be bothered with them.
Now, that's not true. That's not true.
BGS, can I respond?
We're
Did you give
telling
an
we,
example of
We are
meek docile
socialized
women that
like
are
that.
married?
huh?
And then she gives an example of meek docile women that are married.
They're married. She just did, yeah,
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
They're
So
from another
can I respond
culture.
to
They're not from our culture. Do y'all
Eh,
notice
eh,
that?
I-
hold on.
okay. The
May,
thing
can I
is,
respond to
go ahead, go ahead.
BGS? So May, let me make I'm gonna say
And
this,
we're gonna
May.
wrap this up in about
I
five
think
minutes
you're
because it's
which
getting a headache. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, by you stating what you experienced and calling these women dumb, I think it's very insulting because one, that could have been my mother because my mother wasn't born in the United States. Just like any person who comes to the United States, there's certain things they're not acquiesced with. There's certain things that are not that don't happen back home that happen here, and just like anyone else, right? If they're taught, I think they can respond correctly. But to have this overall want, to have this perception that these are women that can't survive or they're dumb when they come from third world countries and they see way more harsh circumstances, but find a way to navigate in America, I think that's very insulting to say.
You're looking to be insulted. I didn't know you was a Somali
I mean,
or
we learn
whatever.
about the fire drill
Okay,
in
okay,
elementary
all
school.
right.
So if
Okay.
they don't learn what a fire drill is, that doesn't make them stupid. It makes them from somewhere that doesn't
What
utilize the
the
fire drill.
the
Man, you're
point
an educator.
the point was she said docile women, we don't want them. I told her that's not true. They get married all the time. Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
my wife is docile. My wife is docile, and what I learned is that when I was younger, I was just toxic and I like them ratchet, wild ass girls. But to settle down, I had to improve myself and become a decent person in society to operate with a docile woman.
And,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I love them.
I know the difference in culture because I was raised in a gynocracy. Okay,
I,
my kids are in a gynocracy, right?
I,
My son dates Latinas because they're what docile.
I want to follow up and say something real quick. I'll be short. Docile does not mean stupid.
No,
Docile doesn't mean dumb. Docile doesn't mean incompetent. Docile means one who has the ability and the discernment to yield themselves,
hmm
and someone actually gain instruction, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, etc., etc., etc. Just
black
because a woman is docile doesn't mean she's stupid, dumb, or can't comprehend.
black. But you prove my point. Black women, American black women, are taught to be aggressive.
Yep.
They're taught to
Because
be aggressive.
we're in an aggressive environment.
What
We
I
are
did.
in an aggressive
Uh,
environment.
so you just proved my point, did you not?
I don't know. I didn't have a conversation, but if
You
you say
no,
so.
you just proved my. You just said it. We're in
But yes,
aggressive.
you know what?
Hey,
Tonight you
wait,
want
wait.
one of them.
You just interrupted me like three times. Okay.
I wonder what kind of environment them Somalian women came from. I mean,
Uh,
always getting bummed. It's really violent out there.
what it's saying is they're taught to rely on their men to go out and protect them. That's what they're taught. Okay.
They're taught to be stupid too, so that they can
See
rely and have no other option.
there you go.
See,
There you
the
That's
go.
gist is
true. That's
that
There
true.
you
I
go.
ain't
There
That
lying.
you go. There
they're
you
I
go.
ain't
taught to be
lying.
that's
stupid.
more so
Ask
There
them
you
to
go.
read a book. Ask them
There
to
you
read a book. They can't read. You know how I know? Because
May,
I'm a
can you
teacher
speak
and I
another
see them
language?
get on the
Not
bus.
only,
May, can
man,
you
not
speak
I
only
see
are
them
another
get
you a
on the
language?
bus.
Hold
misogynist,
on, hold on,
not
They
hold
only
need
on,
to
are
Leon,
go
you a
Leon.
into the
Stop right
bus
there.
misogynist,
Hold on,
but
hold
you're
on,
so they can
hold
learn
on,
how to
hold on,
racist.
hold
read.
on, Leon.
Y'all don't
one at
want
a
the
time.
truth.
All
Y'all
right,
don't want the
all
truth.
right.
You want to hear what you want to hear.
May, stop. Okay. All right,
May,
that's enough. That's enough. That's enough, folks. That's enough. Okay. Stop.
that was kind of offensive by
It,
itself.
wa-
To
it's
you, like, I'm
crazy.
stupid.
that's who she is. Okay.
That's
That,
xenophobic as fuck.
No. That's who she
EGS, I
is.
am
Okay.
so triggered by her. Oh my God.
I mean, that's the thing is that's why I cut her off, interrupting, and keep her on her lid because she will do that. Okay. She can't
that's
win the argument, so that's what she does. Okay.
I guess
Yeah,
Anyway,
xenophobic.
that's
That's fucked up.
insulting. That's what I'm saying. Xenophobia is wild.
anyway, closing thoughts, okay? 'Cause this is what goes
Uh,
on, right? But thing is, you try to have a conversation. She just proved our point, okay?
hey,
Just proved our point.
can I say
And you try to build with them, even in just a
what
conversation
what
like
what
this. You
what I'm
try to
saying?
build a conversation, right?
This is what they deny.
let
We're
me
not mean. We're not aggressive. We're not yada 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 yada. And they come up here and prove their point every single time. Everything that we say about you guys is true. Okay, we
In
don't
the
lie on
same
y'all.
breath.
let
In the same
I
breath.
want I want I want to say the first closing statement because I'm probably the youngest
Go ahead.
up here. That
No,
was
you don't.
xenophobic as fuck. And
I
I'm
mean, I
like,
mean,
why?
what no, they do
I
that to each other. Okay.
Yeah.
that makes them bad people, and
Man,
I'm,
Uh,
that's bad.
you
Don't
got
do
one
that.
Somalian woman get
That's
like
how
25K out of these black women.
that's how
She's
they
That's
smart.
keep
bad. Don't do that.
that's how they keep each other in line, okay? By
Mm-hmm.
shaming each other, okay?
Yeah.
And guilting each other, okay? That's how they do it.
They used to do it for the edification of the community. Now they do it for their own benefit.
And
That,
the
bad. Don't do
reason
that.
that the reason that black men are the only men that can actually get along with them because we're used to that treatment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Other men don't stand for that shit, okay?
That's why
Why?
anytime a black woman gets with a white man, she says, no, no, no. All the girls who are with white men are like, no, 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 girl. You can't do
You
like you
can't do
used to
the
do.
you can't do the stuff that you do to black men, right?
She's got to
Okay.
be taught.
She got to be taught.
Don't
Okay.
be don't be xenophobic.
The Mark from Africa, right? He was in Tanzania, right? He said every single time a black woman came over and got a Tanzanian husband, it always come back to domestic violence because she can't shut her freaking mouth. Okay.
Yep.
I can't stop smiling, but I'm not smiling because I'm happy. I'm shocked. God
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, what I'm saying. See, y'all think I make this stuff up. Okay. Y'all think that's why black men as a group are so good with everybody else is because the emotional labor has to actually output to actually deal with our women. You
Mm-hmm.
got to have run game. You got to put up with their attitudes. You got to be a little bit more docile. It's because they're so aggressive. Okay, if you want to be with them. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
all that stuff that you have to put up with so you get with another woman, like whether white, Latina, or any other kind
Amen.
of woman, it's easy. Okay, it's like goddamn, this is easy.
It's like being trained for the NBA, and
Yeah.
then your ultimate
I,
goal, you get to play it. You get to play in
You,
China.
you know what blew my mind about white dating coaches? Okay, there's one thing that they said that it blew my freaking mind. You never have to worry about a white woman's orgasm. I said, what? I said, her orgasm is not your
You
problem.
lying.
I said, what? I
You
said, you
lying.
lying. And white women said the exact same thing. The orgasm, we don't get orgasms, but it's okay. We do that for them, right? Don't say that shit to a black woman, okay?
Oh
they do it for the
no.
plot.
If she don't come, she will step on the bed and say, you ain't shit because you didn't make me come. She will do that, okay? And every black man
Multiple
knows
times.
that. Multiple times, yes, she will. She'll grade you, okay, on how you
Yep.
perform, okay? And we
Yep.
all know
Baby,
that.
go get my walker.
Yeah. If
So,
your dick facts is trash,
yeah,
you are persona non grata.
yeah.
Hey,
In other words, the thing is, if May cannot be right, then she gets upset, okay? And she's the thing is, she walked herself back into where she started, right?
it didn't get xenomorphic. That hurt.
I said, well,
Xenophobia. Yeah.
you guys don't mess with docile women. I said, yes, we do. No, you don't. Blah blah blah. And then she gave an example about docile women being married.
You know,
And then
Can't
proceed
make
to
if
can't
call
make
them
this up.
sleep.
Yeah.
if they could
Huh?
bully white women, they would be the beauty standard.
Ooh, ooh,
They would be the
ooh,
beauty standard, baby.
ooh. They can't wait.
Don't comb your
They
hair,
can't
mom.
wait.
Man,
They thought
Wow.
they could do it during this
good
election,
lord.
and how did it work out for them?
Oh,
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
You better not comb your
I
hair,
mean, for
mom.
me, it's just. I'm, I mean, again, this is. I see why
May,
brothers get these passports, man.
hey, May. The thing is, you see, without you up here, we're all talking, right? And the reason I cut them off is because I have 3 or 4 people, guys, trying to talk to you at the same time. That's why I said one at a
Yes.
time, okay? And I actually explained to them
And
why. I tried to. They didn't get upset. You got upset. They didn't get upset. How come you the only got
and,
upset? Actually talking to them. Why are you upset? So
BGS,
BGS,
I
you're
was
mean.
really
BGS,
emotionally triggered. Like,
BGS, you're mean. They didn't say that, okay? You said it because you
Yeah.
want
and
to
I was
say what you want to say. This ain't your time,
I,
okay? And
I was trying
I
to.
mean,
when I gave you time to ask you questions, you couldn't answer them.
I mean,
May did do some justice. May did do some justice. She sold us some Somalian women. We might have to go snatch up some of them too. You
Look,
know what I'm
she said
saying?
she said white women abuse
Yo,
but you keep quiet. No, actually, black women actually abuse you way more than white women do.
yeah,
Black
yeah.
black
I
women
mean,
kill.
this is
Black women commit more domestic violence against black men than any other group. Okay, in female group,
well.
not
This
even close.
BJ. This is the thing that
So what?
again. When
You
you
broke
have
up.
sister, I was gonna say this is a goes. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
BJ, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, this is one of the things I think. Again, this goes back to yesterday's conversation, right?
Uh huh.
You would think after the last time May came on, she would go back to the archives, do some research,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Mm-hmm.
assess and analyze what she did wrong,
Mm-hmm.
as most people would do, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it seems like in our black community, especially black women,
Mm-hmm.
even after yesterday's conversation, she still needs to beat the bullet points and still ask the question. Well, I'll read it. Can you? It's like a shortcut. Everything's a shortcut.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
When
she don't read. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, and this is the thing on this panel, and as long as I've been associated with brothers, these type of panels are not shortcuts.
No.
BS has
No.
said this all the time. If you are going to come up on here, please do your homework,
Yes.
Yeah.
do the research,
Yeah.
because this is the type of frustration that many men have, especially intellectual men who have intellectual conversations. And this is why, like Leon said, we all get triggered by it because you didn't want to do your homework. You want to
Yeah.
come here and pound your chest and say, "Well, I know." No, it's just like
He's bringing down the class
You
average.
no, no, you she winds up proving everything that we say about black women just in this on this panel, right? Everything,
I'm
right?
just I'm just triggered that I didn't know about Somalian women being so docile. I would
I
have
mean,
been had my
Yo,
hood
that's
leg in that.
of
Straight up.
Most East African women actually are docile for the most part. Okay,
He's got to learn Amharic. You give it time.
they're trained to be that way. Okay, they're trained to be that way. They're trained to follow and not speak out, not be overtalk their men. They're trained that way.
Yeah. It's
I got
unfortunate.
possibly a stupid question, but it might not be stupid. But they're not the subset of women that get the clit cut out because I'm just asking.
No, it depends on the tribe. Okay, every tribe
Okay,
doesn't do it. And most of that stuff where they actually do that, especially in the village, is pretty much gone. Okay,
okay.
they don't do that anymore. Okay, good
and me,
because feminism and modern society has penetrated down into the bush. That's why they don't do it anymore. I actually met a woman that actually got a clit. Uh, they can't drive, they can't read, they can't survive. You thing is, if they're come from a country where there are no cars, what do they need to drive for? They're not
In
American
reading,
women.
they don't read English. They
They
speak
don't.
Amharic.
Hardick, yeah,
yeah. So this is one of the things where when May says these women are stupid, and
yeah,
that's why I brought up the example. May, you have never lived in these countries.
yes.
These countries are war torn.
Hmm.
Any person who comes from these type of
They're
environments,
tough.
they are
Yeah,
way tougher than you.
yeah.
This is the thing that again, this is why it triggered me because it goes back to like we mentioned the shame, the insults,
Yeah, and
and
they need to
then
be right. And they
they
need
need
to
to
be
be right,
right, especially in this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
right? Like
sad reality.
it's like that's why I asked Meg. You said they're stupid, but how many languages do you speak? Because
Yeah.
there's plenty of
Nine times out of ten they speak like four languages because they have
Yeah.
right.
to. Yeah.
I mean, because you've been overseas. Many, some of us have been. How
Yeah.
many people who have high degrees
Hmm.
in these other countries? But we already know why they can't get the economic empowerment because of obviously the war,
Yeah.
destruction, blah blah blah. They come to America and they're in their 30s and they have to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
That's quite difficult to do.
Very.
Here
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
hard too.
But
I had a
the
college
thing.
professor of mine. She was a
Hmm.
Spanish teacher here, but
Hmm.
back home in Venezuela, she was a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Happens
had
all the
that
time.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they have a degree, it becomes cab drivers. Okay,
Yep.
BJS, I got one question for you.
real quick, and we got getting ready to go in about a
Um,
few minutes.
do you? I was listening to something about Sandra Willie P, and this is a correlation to: are black
Hmm?
women equivalent to white men when it comes to the standard mode, like what they want?
Yeah,
Because he
that,
brought up. Okay,
that's what the black white men and white women are the freest people in America. Why? Because they do what they want.
okay,
Yes, black women aren't trying to be white women. They're trying to be white men.
Yeah, they really they are. If you think about
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
they really are. Yeah.
Because the reason why I brought that is because I listened to a small segment of Sandra Willie P when he asked the white woman, "Why do you date black men?" And her number one thing was white men, even though they're not in the same social economic belief system or whatever they believe, right?
Right.
They
Right.
they put white women in this box
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is so difficult to meet.
Yeah.
Where
Very
white
constricted.
women said, "Fuck it,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they get with a black man, he don't ask you for nothing. Okay.
Nope.
yep,
I can be myself is what they say.
And I can be myself. And that's black women say the exact same thing when they date a white man and come back to this side. I'm here. Why are you back? I can be myself actually with black men. I can be myself. That's why they come back. All that bullshit about the race, no, that's bullshit. White men put demands on you that you don't actually want to meet. Okay, and the whole white culture does that. Okay, and they know it. Whereas black men, we don't ask for very much. Okay, even white feminists said the black man is probably the best mate that you can have. And the three feminist books actually said that. Okay, especially if you're a boss chick. Okay, they don't do that boss chick in the white neighborhood in the white family. Okay, boss chick
you,
is only for black women.
yeah,
I mean, Maggie's white. Maggie can tell you. Okay, she can tell you the difference. Okay, she deals with black men. Okay, you know she counsels black men. Okay, and she can tell you that there's a difference. Okay, there's a very stark. In fact, let me see if I can play this because um, I actually got to do a video on it. Okay, Shay Shard. Let's see if we pull up Shay Charday because the white girl's actually talking about it. Okay, about getting pregnant and a feminist actually getting pregnant and seeing the black girls get pregnant riding on the bus. See if I can find it. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I got it. See, when white women embrace baby mama culture, okay?
Things that white women started doing in the 80s was becoming single mothers, which was not okay in white culture. And that's I worked with somebody in 84 who had gotten some friend to get her pregnant, and I was just completely blown away by this.
Wow.
So it actually, in my memory, if it's sort of white culture, you did not become a single mother unless it was the last resort. And I remember thinking, oh no, I would never do that. But one of the
And we have baby showers.
Why are we lying to women? Why are we lying to
And okay, let's see if we can find it. Okay, this is the one. Okay.
age who are alone, who really want to get married and have kids and are very deeply angry. I remember a lot of the women I worked with at this restaurant were really angry all the time.
because they were single?
Yeah.
That's the way white.
So I'm not.
What I witnessed was black women were having children and white feminists were not. I didn't know any black feminists. I saw when I was taking the bus to college, the girls getting on the bus from the Cabrini Green Project talking about, oh, I got pregnant, now I can start collecting my welfare check. And I'd hear this on the bus.
You hear this from? You hear this from different black women that you're saying?
Yeah. And every, black woman I knew had a bunch of kids already, Actually, I had one friend I worked with at my first job out of high school, Evelyn Brick House Triplet, taught me how to basically run up credit cards so you could have everything you want. Took me down to the south side to get a fake ID. Yeah, I learned a lot from her. And but one of the things that white women started doing in the 80s was becoming single mothers, which was not okay in white culture. And that's I worked with somebody in 84 who had.
In other words, what she's saying is that in white culture, single motherhood was frowned upon. Okay, in black culture, it was not. So using your kids as a financial come up was okay in black culture. Leaving your man was okay in black culture. Having children by more than one man was okay in black culture. Okay, so your culture was already there even before welfare actually happened. Okay, all welfare did was actually plug in the money into the culture. That's all it did.
Yeah. Once they got the money, that was kind of the final piece to the equation for them to
Yeah,
actually.
I don't need you no more.
Mhm.
Even BLM says what's a black family, right? A woman and her kids. That's
Yes.
been that coming from the slave farms, right? What's a family? What's a family in slave culture, right? A woman,
And
a
the children.
mammy, and her children, right? The buck is
Hmm.
just there for labor and sperm. That's all he's there
Yeah.
for.
I like the I like the other video on the that channel we use for history that
Mm-hmm.
guy archives everything. They
Mm-hmm.
were talking they were talking to girls that were 16 to 23.
Hezekiah News, yeah.
Yes, I love that guy. And they were interviewing young women,
Mm-hmm.
and this was about why they wanted to be women to get from under their mothers and their
Under mother,
grandmothers,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
That's why
And
they used to get married in black culture to get out of their mother's house. Yeah.
yes, but it switched when the welfare
Yes. Yes.
situation came
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the girls recognized I don't want to be under my grandma and my mother, but if I have a kid,
Yeah.
I have my own place. And
Yes.
that's I had those conversations with my grandma, and I showed her
Mm.
the video, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, so that's what I was trying to explain to you about when we lost power
Yeah.
over our daughters. Like
Yes.
they would withhold the kids from us if we're
Yeah.
not behaving like they
Yes.
want us to."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't need the
Yeah.
So
village anymore. Yeah. So they gave them the independence that they always wanted.
Yep.
and I think that's the side that's not actually studied.
It's studied. Okay. It's there. The studies are actually there. But the thing is, guess
Mm.
who suppresses it?
Okay.
Acknowledgement is what you're looking for.
Your female academic elite actually suppress all this stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
Makes
that's why
It
sense.
is
they hate the
unflattering.
black manosphere. We actually dig all this stuff up.
Yeah.
See here, see the studies from 1947, from 1945, from 1930. Here it is right here. Okay, they hate that shit.
They can
Close up the
censor
narrative.
other academics, but they can't censor us.
No, they can't censor us. That's the problem. And now we have PhDs that actually validate this stuff. Guess what? They can't censor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they hate the black manosphere. Anyhow, y'all.
Read the
Any,
back shot, BGS.
I got a rant for 2 minutes. Go ahead.
I want to direct this to May, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Okay. May, it is what we said it is because we said so. If Vince is telling you that black women aren't docile, not enough black women are docile, that's what it is. If we're saying that's aggressive, that's what it is. And we're gonna leave y'all out here to feel the wrath of JD Vance. And BGS, I want to pat myself on the back. BGS, was I not the one telling everyone that this is a red pill white guy and I could smell it on him?
Yeah, we did.
That's y'all ass.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
y'all don't understand what this man is. May, if we say y'all are aggressive, then y'all are aggressive because nobody else would know. What you would know? If Vince and BGS are saying, yeah, about that. Do you understand the age gap between Vince and BGS and they're telling you the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is what it is because we said it is. And y'all gonna see what it feels like to not agree with us. Well, have fun with JD Vance. Anyway, see, it didn't even take 2 minutes. There you go. I'll pause
And
that
no,
there.
it didn't take 2 minutes. It did.
What up, Z?
The thing is, my mentor says the exact same thing, right? So I can't do it in the conscious community or the pro-black community. I always get pushback, right? Okay, I don't care if you're right. Okay, don't hurt women's feelings. It just
Yeah.
getting this today, okay? Even though I was right 100%. I don't care about your facts. I don't care about your stats or your books. Okay, it doesn't matter. You're hurting black women's feelings. I don't know who you actually around. Said,
BTS, pause again. This is your channel. I know.
yeah.
Did Z not tell y'all? I told y'all they said fuck your side.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they told
Oh,
me.
I know. That's why I had to come here. Okay, that's why I come here. I know they say it all the time.
Oh, Z. So
That's
did you
crazy.
hear?
Go
Did you
ahead.
hear what the white boys said? They said it's like the liberals won the culture war.
Oh, they
Because
stole my
Z
shit.
been
When I said
they
did I not say the liberals won the
verbatim.
culture war and the
Yeah,
conservatives won the
verbatim.
economic war? That's another
I'm
goddamn.
talking about
I feel great today.
No,
verbatim. Verbatim.
the liberals actually lost the culture war. Donald Trump is the culture war. Okay, they lost it.
No.
Like,
I was saying that before Trump. I was saying, remember,
yeah,
I've been saying that for
before.
a while, but you're right about that, BGS. That it didn't flipped completely since 2016.
They
It's a wrap now.
the thing is, it was always framed at the corners. Okay.
They never learned how to
Yeah.
moderate their society. It's all about their tend towards hedonism and just a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of outlandish stuff is how they just lost it. Because
Yeah.
people want some progressiveness to a certain extent, but when you start allowing, you know, the P word PDF files to kind of have a voice, it's like, all right, buddy, you're
Yeah.
doing too much.
Yeah.
People tend to disagree with you on that.
Basically, you're killing your society by
Mm-hmm.
doing this shit, and that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your society. That's what the Chinese are proving that uh, y'all's thinking has bad results. Prove it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have foundation. You need a
No, no,
structure. You
no.
go ahead.
Y'all's thinking has bad results. Prove it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Prove that it does. Okay. Everything that we say has actually come to pass already. It's too late for all that. Coming from all the way from MGTOW, okay? Everything that we said over the past 10 years has already come to pass. Prove that we're wrong. It's not just here; it's also globally too.
Yep.
BGS, do they not realize that they had the culture for at least 40 years? And I'm being supremely generous by only saying 40.
No, it's actually 60. It was handed to
There
them.
you go.
It's given to
And
them.
what I said this on Shay's channel the other day. I said, other than entry level luxury cars and a couple middle management jobs, what exactly do they got to show for this? 60 years.
Well, they ran the experiment. Now we know that it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
BGS, that's your way of saying nothing.
And the
Yeah, well,
luxury cars are nothing new. As soon as they were talking about the black middle class, they were showing these people as lawyers driving, working in offices, driving BMWs and Mercedes
So
and buying.
tokens is what you're saying.
It's just
You
like,
didn't even have to say all that.
yeah,
and they were interviewing married couples, and
yeah,
the guy was like, "I don't feel the need, for a
yeah,
BMW," and the single lady, like, I should purchase this stuff. I have a credit card too,
yeah, yeah,
and it just
yeah.
continues.
The thing is, even going back to feminism and suffragettes, right? Okay, men earned their right to vote by sacrificing their bodies. Women were actually given the right to vote.
Yeah.
They
Just
didn't earn
given.
shit. Okay, men earned civil rights. Okay, with their bodies. Women were actually given civil
Labor
rights.
rights, all of that. The Pinkertons, that is death.
Yep. Women didn't earn that shit. Men earned that shit.
Nope.
Women were actually given that shit. Okay. Same thing with feminism and affirmative action. It was actually given to them. We had to earn that shit. They had to burn down
Yep.
30, 40
Male
cities to get that.
suffrage was
Yeah.
literal death. Labor rights laws was literal death.
Yes.
Repealing child labor, literal death.
Yeah.
Civil rights, literal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. And
everybody
Literally.
from Medgar Evers to Martin Luther and Malcolm.
I don't mind that they do it. The thing is, take ownership of what the decision that you made. Okay. Men didn't leave the family. You kicked them out. Okay.
Yeah.
You replaced them with Uncle Sam as a check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you did. Just
But
own it.
the shaming language of they only left because black men were XYZ, we were deadbeat, shiftless, worthless, dusty, crusty, musty Negroes, and it's like,
How come the other groups, including Latinos, they were just as broke as we were? How come they didn't do it?
But their hair is straighter.
You ain't shit.
You a
You
fool.
ain't
You a fool,
shit.
boy.
You ain't shit. Okay. Anyhow, y'all, I think art's going on, so we're gonna get out of here. Probably went on a little longer than I started. Anytime you
Mm.
invite a woman up, everybody wants to bite. Okay, is what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I had to do it because May came up here talking her foolishness, and I'm low key a little annoyed that you kicked her off because I really wanted to go back and forth with
I
her because
know
that shit's
everybody wanted to
annoying.
bite. That's how come I don't like them up here because everybody
Yeah,
wants to take turns and bite.
yeah,
And I want. I didn't
it's
get my taste. Let me get my
right,
taste real
literally
quick.
though.
Yeah, yeah,
It
literally.
it's just it's to me it was a failed experiment, and that's why you see the white guys reeling that back. If anybody noticed, there's a reason why I don't focus on Donald Trump. If y'all notice, I talk about JD Vance in VBEC. There's a
Uh,
reason for that.
well, JD Vance was picked to actually fulfill what Donald Trump's vision of what he wants.
Thank you.
That's why he's picked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably that German investor guy, right?
He's the up and
No,
coming
no.
JD
JD
Vance
Vance
is what, 40?
is vice president. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like what,
I'm talking about his
40,
funding.
41, something like
Peter
that.
Thiel was actually, I think, South African, isn't he?
Okay.
Yeah, he is. Peter Thiel is South African,
Uh,
and
uh,
he was chosen by the tech guys. JD Vance was chosen by Peter Thiel, Elon,
Mhm.
and all of them.
May stop trying to psychoanalyze me, baby. You're not there yet. Okay. Oh, what you do is actually prove my point. Okay. I had a whole women's channel for like about 2 or 3 years. Okay. That movie being a bunch of women. Okay.
BGS, Leon, and the rest of y'all. Y'all, wait, real quick. Y'all notice we talking politics and how this affects us. We talking about JD Vance. The brother just spoke about how the liberals went too far on this and that,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
PDF files, and May's still talking about you, BGS.
I
I'm
know.
just saying.
I heard a widow fee wins. I didn't do enough emotional labor for her. That's all. That's it. All that is. She didn't get her share.
Well, this
Didn't
is
get her share.
I
I
think it's
said,
the old man voice. I think BGS still got some pimping in him, and I
If
think whenever he talked, them ladies be coming
Ain't,
over
ain't
here
never
acting like
leave.
they
Ain't never
disagree.
left.
I've always been this way. I've always been
Ain't
this way.
never left.
I never left. Yeah.
Man, they say, hey, Will Chamberlain still, score now. Hey, just because
They
he's
did.
sitting on the bench don't mean, hey, you let him warm up. Let him warm them knees up.
Oh man.
Put a hot towel on the motherfuckers. Get
I
up
was
there, show
I
you a
was
little
trying
something.
to get her to make sense, and she wouldn't because she want to tell the whole story. Daddy, I want to tell the whole story. Okay, we don't need the whole story. Get to your point.
I said in the back chat to her, like, men are not here to conversate, man. Men are just here to have an intellectual debate, hit our
Yeah,
points, and move on.
and move on. Yeah, make your point. Okay. The thing is, your point is bullshit. That's not gonna be brought up the whole story.
There are no brass tacks to get to.
Because and that's why I brought it back. That's how come you got mad. I said, okay, so were they married though, man?
There's
They're
no other
docile,
side to eat.
but were they married? But they were stupid. No, but were they married though? Okay.
There's
Not
no
What's your
other
answering that
side to
question.
equal sign.
what was your original point? Y'all don't deal with docile women. I said we do, and
You do. My wife is docile.
yeah,
Look. Once again, my lady is pretty chill and docile.
With a
Once again,
master's
if
degree.
you want to be aggressive, I've said this before. Y'all got to be the most aggressive, fragile people on the face of the earth. If you want to be aggressive, May, if you want to be antagonistic, you can do that. Find the men that are okay with that.
yeah.
Maybe you can find one, but the masses of women, black women especially, cannot. You
The
can't.
thing,
You can try to justify this however you want, but we ain't going. Not the
the,
masses of us anyway.
the thing is because we're raised by the same women and
Mm-hmm.
go to school with them. We're raised in that culture. We're used to that kind of treatment. Okay. Once guys get out of the United States and find different women, oh, I'm not going back to this bullshit.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Yeah. And we all had the conversation I had with my mom. She straight up said, you have to understand it, mom. I understand, but you can't put me around Caribbean women, African women, and think I'm going to talk to the FBAs. These girls are nice. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you asked about white women, okay, and I tell you about why black men. Well, you think black? Well, you actually gonna be safer with white? Well, no, we don't. No, it's the
No.
opposite. It's the
White
opposite.
women select us.
They do.
Yes.
Well, but the thing is, nobody selects black men. Actually, no good. Nobody selects us. Okay, that's what they
Yeah.
wanted. pretend.
That's
Okay,
the narrative.
that's
Yeah.
the narrative. Okay,
Stay in that corner.
and you have to do all this stuff to get a white woman. No, we don't. We have to do less.
No.
Actually,
Less and more appreciated.
have to do less to get a Latina. Okay, we have to do way less. Okay, way less. And the thing is, because I hear this all the time, right? When a black man lays down the law to a white woman, says, "I need this, 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 and this," and she come back and said, "Is that all? Is that it? That's all you want?"
Yeah.
You don't mind making me a little lunch to go to work?
Yeah. Is that it? Is that it? That's all I got to do?
Oh man, come on, man. We
And
getting
and
married
most
tomorrow.
people like the white women when they're passive aggressive. That's not even bothersome. White
And,
guys, how they deal with it is totally different from
yeah.
how we deal with it. That's like a blessing. That's a little passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, because
But you
it
still get our
is.
shit done.
Yeah, but if you don't have a battle upside your head, every other
Yeah.
day, then yeah.
But
Huh?
typically, even though when they're passive aggressive, they'll still do their job.
I, you
Like
know,
Yep.
remember. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
you mean me? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, if they'll still do their job when they're being passive aggressive. Like, if they're like giving you the silent treatment, she'll be doing it while she's doing the dishes,
Wait a
while
minute.
she's doing
Wait.
laundry.
Maggie says with a note tucked into your napkin.
Yeah.
You ain't shit, Maggie. The thing is, what black boys can't get into. The white boy calling his mother a bitch. Okay.
Oh
We
no.
Can't do it.
we
Oh no
can't
no no
even
no no.
deal with what? Like, oh my God, are you
No.
still alive? Are you okay? She didn't kill you, did she?
Or
Right?
saying
It's
Yo,
all
what?
type
fuck
of
you, mom. I be
Yeah.
Or
hearing
it's
white
all
saying
people.
type
I
what?
be
of
like,
Like
oh, I
she
love
when he
you.
broom
says,
handles and
Yeah.
"David, where are
shoes
you?"
and
Yeah.
What, mom? I'm like, oh no,
Oh
that's
yeah. Oh
that's
no, no,
never.
no. Oh no, that doesn't ride. Okay.
Oh, oh.
Anyhow, y'all, let
Talking
me get
about
out of here.
her
Let's go.
first name. Oh,
Yeah, let's get over to
Her first
arts.
name too.
thanks for having me up, BGS. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
appreciate
let
you.
me end that on that. That's a no
Salute.
go, especially not in any black household I've ever been in. But in a Haitian household, that's brooms,
Oh yeah,
that's
it's one.
shoes, that's
Hey,
Oh yeah, yeah,
pots
Belt,
and pans,
yeah.
and all different type of
we
wig,
things,
still
man.
all getting over slave culture.
spoon.
Anything has to do with slave culture, you raised that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
still getting over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right when my mom found out she could take my Jordans and my nice jeans and send me to school in beat up shoes and high waters, she
Okay.
solved a lot of problems.
Yeah. Oh
Hysterical.
yeah, 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 yeah. I did that one to my daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
I
headed over to
appreciate you,
arts.
BGS.
All right. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.